So guys, on your requests, I have finally brought it. Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa, the one for which more than 200 people voted. So this story is going to be an amazing mafia romance. So passengers, please fasten your seatbelts and let's start this journey. In this story, an innocent person, on his mom's insistence, goes on a blind date and ends up getting entangled with a mafia guy. That mafia was looking for someone for a hookup, but by mistake our main character falls into his hands, and from here their fates get connected, because that mafia has a medical problem which disappears the moment our main character comes near him. So now we will find out in the story what is the mystery behind this manhwa. Let's start chapter 1. Chapter 1 begins, where our main character is telling us his story. It was a very ordinary weekend, but something happened that day which I hadn't even imagined in my dreams. Then he says to us, I wish I had never listened to my mom and gone on that blind date. Then this wouldn't have happened to me today. And we see our main character sitting in a car with a suited booted guy sitting right beside him. Our main character says, I came on this blind date because my mom told me to. But my rotten luck gave me this man whose face literally screams Dan. You guys see for yourselves. Doesn't he look like some roadside goon or a mafia boss? And the worst part, he dragged me into his car and now he's not even letting me leave. Then he dramatically says, so is this it? Is my life ending right here? Will the life of this innocent poor guy finish just like this? And with that, our story directly jumps to the past. Now we find out how our main character ended up in a stranger mafia's car. The past scene starts showing our main character whose name is Kesu. He is a regular office worker who also has a side business. He uploads online cooking videos. We see him surrounded by a lot of old people. They are asking him many questions about his job and about him. Our innocent main character is answering all of them. One person asks him, how old are you? He replies that he is 27 years old. Then an old lady asks him, what have you come here for? Kesu tells her that this is his blind date. Hearing this, all of them get very excited and ask, is this your first blind date? Our main character is shyly answering them, and those old people start trying to set him up with their own children. Suddenly one lady says, will you date me? On this, our Kesu nervously replies, Auntie, don't you think your age is a bit too much? And the story immediately shifts to the morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. We see our main character sleeping. His mom comes, opens the window and shouts like a lioness, you have turned 27 and I still have to take care of you. Kesu, if this continues, how will you ever get married? How will you make your own family? You sleep till 8 in the morning, reach office late, and don't pay attention to anything. Which girl will marry you? On this, Kesu tells his mom, do you think no one will marry me? Mom, I am only 27 years old. Look how many girls would want to marry me. Seeing this, his mom immediately kicks him out of the house and says, how dare you talk back to me and talk such nonsense? Get out of my house now and don't come back tonight until you start dating someone. Find a girl for yourself, only then come back home. After that we see our main character again. Now it's 6 in the evening. He is casually eating something while walking. And then our main character says, is it really necessary that we go on dates, get married, and have kids? He says, today is my birthday, yet I still have to go through all this. I feel like a carrot or radish kept in the market. Anyone can just pick me up whenever they want. No one pays attention to me. No one cares who I am or what I am. People just want me to get married quickly. But every day I wake up, go to work, come straight home, nothing changes. I just keep working, working, and working. I feel like I will live and die alone like this. I don't think I will ever find someone with whom I can share love feelings. After that he looks at the box in his hands and starts thinking, I am very scared. I don't have enough courage to tell anyone what I like. I feel like I should give up on my dreams, on my feelings before everything gets ruined and ends. Here from Kesu's words we don't fully understand what he is talking about. What is that thing he is hiding from everyone and not telling anyone? But one thing is clear, this matter is troubling him a lot. That's why he looks very sad and is walking in depression. Suddenly he bumps into someone. We see a very dangerous looking man standing in front. Kesu gets extremely scared just by looking at him, starts trembling and says, friends, my story ends here. I have bumped into some goon or gangster. God knows what will happen to me now. And he starts imagining that the person in front is a gangster. But for some reason that man pretends as if he knows Kesu and immediately says, is this your first time? Kesu gets very confused and thinks, is this guy asking if this is my first blind date? So Kesu immediately replies, yes, this is my first time on a blind date. On this the man says, come with me. And he immediately holds Kesu's hand, drags him along and makes him sit in his car. We see both of them sitting silently in the car, but that man is only staring at Kesu. Kesu is trembling badly with fear, obviously. If a stranger suddenly drags you into his car, it's normal to be scared. Kesu is scared only because of this. In his mind he is thinking, why am I feeling so scared suddenly? Why am I so nervous? I think this man misunderstood me. He took me for someone else and made me sit in his car. Meanwhile, the other man maintains a poker face and looking at Kesu says, "What are you doing here? Do you even know what happens here?" Kesu thinks since he came for a blind date, this must be the place where blind dates happen, so he immediately says, "Yes, I know what happens here. My mom herself told me to come here." Hearing this, the man looks at him and says, "Oh, so your mom sent you?" And he suddenly moves closer to Kesu and grabs him, leaving Kesu completely shocked. Then we see the man holding Kesu's hand and pulling him towards himself. Kesu has no idea what is happening. But in the next scene we see the man has already made Kesu sit on top of him. Kesu is on his lap. Then the man says, "If you are new, no problem. You will slowly learn everything. I will teach you." Kesu doesn't understand anything and is about to say something when suddenly the man removes Kesu's glasses. Now Kesu can't see anything clearly. Everything is blurry. He says, "Give me back my glasses. I can't see anything without them." But the man moves forward and starts kissing him. Kesu tries his best to free himself, but he can't. He thinks, how is this man so strong? I can't do anything. He tries very hard but can't free himself. After some time, the man himself leaves Kesu. Then he asks Kesu, "Are we going to do all that right here in the car? Or do you want to go somewhere else?" But we see Kesu is clearly not happy with this. In the next scene, Kesu suddenly smashes his face hard into the man's face, hits him to bring some sense. He immediately gets out of the car and while crying thinks, "I came here for a blind date, but this guy made me blind and stole a kiss from me. He looks decent, wears good clothes, has a car, but his behavior is completely like an animal." And he runs away from there. On the other side, that man is sitting holding his nose and says, "Have my skills become so useless that someone is running away while I was kissing him? Did I make him feel that bad?" Then he looks down and thinks, "Anyway, what I wanted to happen didn't happen. I didn't feel that thing at all. Looks like this was of no use to me and it didn't work on me at all." Then his eyes fall on the box that was with Kesu. He picks it up and says, "Maybe that boy left this box here." As soon as he opens the box, a cookie comes out. He looks at it surprised and says, "What kind of cookie is this? It isn't even made properly. Was he trying to make a bear or a dog?" In the next scene we see the same man talking to someone on the phone. His friend Yu Dang says, "I arranged a boy for you. Did you meet him?" The man replies, "He was completely useless. He wasted my time and didn't do anything. I think all this is totally pointless. You should stop trying to..." Hearing this, the person from the other side taming says, "What do you mean it was useless? Have you gotten tired so quickly? I didn't know you get exhausted so fast." Then he immediately corrects himself, "I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean you were very weak." Then the other person says, "What do you mean it was useless? My hard work is useless. Don't you know I am doing all this only for you?" He continues, "I know you don't get excited, but you have to cure it. Otherwise the whole world will laugh at you." Finally, we get to know this man's name. His name is Morning, and he is our second main lead. He is a mafia lord, and Morning has a medical problem. No matter whether it's with a man or a woman, he cannot get excited. And if he doesn't get excited, he can't perform, and his body doesn't react normally the way it physically should. His friend Daming is trying to help him with exactly this. The friend wants Morning to fix this weakness somehow, gain experience with people so that he can perform again because he is a mafia boss. And if he can't do this, the whole world will make fun of him. Here he is trying to explain this to Morning says, "You are taking advantage of my weakness like this and making fun of me." While saying this, Morning starts eating Kesu's cookies.
As soon as he takes one bite of that cookie, he suddenly gets extremely shocked. We see something like a storm happens around him. A strange sensation starts in his body and he gets extremely excited as if he is feeling these sensations for the first time ever. That cookie has such an effect that Morning becomes like before and his body reacts the way a male's body should. After so long, feeling sensation in that specific part of his body, tears come to Morning's eyes. Very surprised, he tells his friend while crying, "I think I have found the cure for my illness." His friend asks, "What happened to you suddenly? Did you really find the cure for your illness? Will you tell me?" But now Morning doesn't give any answer. He wipes his tears badly, feels that part of his body suddenly becomes serious and says, "Boy, I will eat all your cookies. Now if I ever see you anywhere, you better be careful because I will eat all your cookies." And here chapter 1 ends. Guys, if you have come this far in the video and you liked today's video, please give it a like. And if you are new on the channel, please subscribe. Also comment and definitely tell me how you found today's video. Your one like and subscribe gives us a lot of motivation, and we try to bring videos as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching my video for so long. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
So guys, in the previous chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa, we saw that our main character Kestu goes on a blind date. There, by mistake, he gets entangled with a gangster. That gangster mistakes Kesu for someone else and starts kissing him. This scares Kesu a lot, and he hits the gangster and runs away. The poor gangster is troubled because his years-old illness isn't going away. But as soon as he eats the cookies made by Kesu, his long-standing illness disappears, and he decides that from now on, he will eat all of Kesu's cookies. So with that, let's start chapter 2. Chapter 2 begins with us seeing Kesu in his office, looking quite sad. He was already very troubled because of that day's incident, and today he got scolded a lot in the office too. His boss always finds some excuse or the other to put him down, which makes his office life really miserable. One of Kesu's co-workers sees him from the side and asks how he's doing. "You've been upset since morning. Is it because of the morning meeting?" Kesu says, "No, it's nothing like that. I'm fine." The co-worker tells him, "Our boss Temps always blames others for his own mistakes, so you shouldn't take his words to heart." Then that co-worker starts talking to others, and Kesu finds out that his boss Temps is about to get transferred. That's why he's so angry and taking it out on everyone. Kesu is also surprised to hear that the boss who used to trouble him is getting transferred. Suddenly a girl comes and says to Kesu, "Aren't you wearing your glasses? You look really good without them." But then she notices the injury on Kesu's lips and asks, "What happened to your lips?" As soon as Kesu realizes there's an injury on his lips, he immediately covers his mouth, starts blushing badly, and remembers that in the last meeting, when that weird gangster kissed him, that's how he got hurt on his lips. Kesu feels really embarrassed, and his co-workers start teasing him. Our little Kesu has started dating someone too. All of them tease him nicely. Kesu shyly tells them, "All of you focus on your work. Anyway, I have to leave early today, so I'm not staying. Whoever has work for me, give it quickly." In the next scene, we see Kesu looking at a calendar where a date is marked, and he thinks, "Today is that day. No matter what, I have to leave here early today." Then in the next scene, it's almost 5 in the evening. A colleague is about to give him some work, but as soon as she turns, we see Kesu has already disappeared because it's 5 o'clock and time to leave. Shu immediately runs away from there. In the next scene, we see Kesu running really fast like Ao Deco not Tao, straight running. In this rush, he bumps into a man. He immediately apologizes and starts running without even looking at him. The man's companion says, "Mr. Morning, are you okay? I'll bring that boy here right now and make him apologize." Morning says, "I'm fine, no need for that." This is how we find out that Morning has come to Kesu's office area. In the next scene, we see Kesu running, now quite tired, and he finally reaches his destination. Reaching there, he becomes very happy. He sees a packet of bread in front of him. It's a limited edition bread that's available for a very short time, and Kesu loves eating it. So he happily reaches to pick it up and says, "Good thing I left the office early today. Otherwise I wouldn't even find this bread." But before he can pick it up, a hand from behind grabs it first. We see it's none other than Mo. Seeing him, Kesu gets a bit sad. Moaning tells him, "Now you've started eyeing these things too." As soon as Kesu turns back, he sees Moaning and gets really shocked. He thinks, this is the same guy from that day. But what is he doing here? He immediately steps back and says fearfully, "Are you some stalker? What are you doing here? Now I'll call the police and report that you're stalking me." Then he stretches his hand forward and says, "Quietly give me back my bread. I came here for it first. I saw it first, so it's mine." But Morning is quietly looking at Kesu. We see Kesu is very scared. Morning says, "If you wanted this bread, you should have come earlier. But I picked it up before you, so now it's mine. But you can do one thing to get it. If you come outside and talk to me a little, I'll give you this bread." Kesu is thinking, "I ran from the office early to get here, still didn't get my favorite bread, and if I run to another shop now, there's no chance I'll find it." So he decides that he'll talk to this gangster and take the bread. He goes outside and says, "Okay, now tell me what you want to say." Morning is smoking and looking at him. We see Kesu is still scared, but he's telling himself, "I need to stay brave. I shouldn't be afraid. Anyway, there are a lot of people here, so this gangster won't dare do anything. While Kesu is thinking all this, suddenly he hears the voices of his office co-workers and colleagues. They're coming this way saying Kesu's kid ran away early from the office again. He always does this. As soon as Kesu realizes his colleagues are coming here, he panics a lot and thinks, what should I do now? If they see me with this gangster, what will happen to me? I won't be able to explain to them ever what I'm doing here and why I'm with this gangster. So he immediately starts pushing Mon. Moning gets really surprised, but Kesu presses him hard against the wall like that and stands in front. Moning's heart is beating really fast, but he doesn't let any emotion show on his face. Kesu quietly watches his colleagues go past from there. After they leave, he takes a sigh of relief and says, my colleagues weren't even coming here, so what did they come to the shop for today? Moning is quietly watching all his actions and says, if you don't let me go, I'll call the police and say you're stalking me. Now Kesu starts sweating. He immediately steps back, apologizes, and thinks, why did I do that? I shouldn't have gone so close to him. Should I just grab the bread packet and run from here? Then he decides he should talk to him once. He looks at Moning and says, so tell me, what did you want to talk about? Moning first looks at him calmly, so Kesu immediately looks away. Then Moning says, whatever happened the other day, I want to apologize to you for that. I mistook you for someone else. I thought you were the person my friend arranged for me. That's why I forcibly took you into my car and did all that. I sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. Please forgive me for that. Mr. Kekshu can't believe that this gangster is apologizing to him. He thinks, did he come all this way just to apologize? Kesu immediately says, I've heard what you said. If there's nothing else, I have to go. He stretches his hand to grab the bread packet. Moning is watching him do that. Okay, Kesu immediately snatches the packet, but before he can run, we see Moning grabs his hands really hard and starts pressing him against the wall. Now tears start coming to Keshu's eyes, and he thinks, now I'm done. Even God can't save me now. Like a mouse caught by a cat, Kesu is thinking, what does he want now? He already apologized. I forgave him too. But we see Moning creepily starts taking something out from inside his clothes. It looks really scary. Seeing that, Kesu goes into shock and thinks, this is it for my life. My story is about to end. And he starts saying goodbye to his mom because he feels this gangster is going to end his story. Now but then we see Moning takes out Keshu's glasses and the box from last time and says, you left this in my car last time. I came to return this to you. But I wanted to ask you, where did you buy the cookies that were in this box? Kesu immediately snatches his box and glasses, doesn't give any answer, and looks really surprised. Looking at his face, Moning realizes that Kesu himself made those cookies. Moning says, why didn't I think earlier that you must have made those cookies? Okay, that's good. Do you want to sell them to me? You can sell all the cookies you make to me. But as soon as Kesu looks at Moning's face and sees his smile, he gets shocked and thinks, why is he smiling like that? I do cooking. What's so funny about it that this guy is showing his teeth? And suddenly his past trauma comes back. In childhood, whenever he used to cook, boys would make fun of him and say this is girls' work. He shouldn't cook, and everyone would laugh at him. That's why Kesu never tells anyone that he cooks, because he thinks everyone will make fun of him. Here Moning is still smiling and says, just tell me how much money you want. I'm ready to give you all the money for them. But then we see Kesu immediately puts on his glasses and lands a really hard punch straight on Moning's face. While punching, he says, you're laughing a lot, right? Finding it funny that a boy cooks. Okay, now see a little demo of my cooking. Okay. After hitting him, Kesu starts running away, shouting, save me. Save me. Moning just stays there trying to stop him. Then we see Moning really angry, and he says, this is the second time this guy has hit me. Blood starts coming from Moning's nose too, and he says, this idiot boy keeps hitting me and running away. After that, he immediately calls his friend Yang. Yang picks up and says, now what trouble has come that you're remembering me? Moning tells him you have to do a small job for me. I'll send you a person's photo, and you have to find out all the information about him and give it to me. We see Yang's face, which is quite pretty, and he says to Moning, you said it, consider your work done. And the scene cuts there. In the next scene, we're shown an underground basement scene. Some people are fighting there. A man comes and tells his boss that someone has taken down all our men and is coming inside. We see the one who beat all those men is none other than Moning, who has come here to collect his money. He comes inside. The boss says, Mr. Ma, come, sit here, and let's talk peacefully. It's not necessary to cause destruction for everything, right? Moning is just quietly looking at him. But the boss says again, Mr. Moning, please forgive my men's rudeness. They didn't know who you are. That's why they blocked your way. We've been doing business for a long time. I hope such a small thing won't ruin our relationship. Come inside, sit with me, have some tea, and then we'll discuss the further business. Morning tells him, stop your nonsense and just return my money. I'll leave quietly. The man smiles again and says, money is just dirt on hands. It comes today and goes tomorrow. Are you ruining our relationship for a little money? Then he immediately tells one of his men, Wong, go bring some beautiful girls who can entertain Mr. Morning's heart. And that man evilly smiles and taunts Morning. Oh, forgive me. I forgot, you have a medical problem, right? Now you can't make out with anyone. Your youth is wasted. Mr. Ma, I don't think there are any signs of manhood left in you. And saying this, he starts evil smiling. Morning is again quietly just looking at him peacefully, and that man, now evil smiling, says, forgive me if I said something wrong. But Mr. Ma, did I say anything wrong? But we see Morning, without wasting a single moment, grabs that man's head and slams it on the table. We see Morning now looking really angry. He had been tolerating this man's rudeness for a long time, but now this man has crossed the limit. That's why Morning slams him hard on the table and angrily says in rage, tell me the password to your locker. This is the only time you have. Open your mouth, otherwise in the future you won't even be able to speak again, or I'll make you silent forever. That man angrily tells his men, idiots, what are you watching? Hit this bastard. And here the chapter ends. Today's chapter summary of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts with us seeing Myoning in a bar with his friend Yang. Myoning is drinking one glass of alcohol after another. Yang is quite angry and says, can't you leave such small jobs to your men? Have you ever seen any mafia boss go personally to collect money? We see Myoning with an injury on his face, and he says, shut your nonsense. Meanwhile, his assistant is glaring at both of them. Then Myoning asks both of them, I told you to find out about someone, that boy. What did you find out about him? This time a mischievous smile appears on Yang's face and he says, so you still can't forget that boy, huh? Okay, let me tell you the whole truth clearly. That day I arranged very beautiful girls for you, not a boy. God knows how you ended up meeting a boy, and not only that, you dragged him into your car. And with a very cute smile he adds, so you fell in love with him just like that, right? Tell me, that's what happened, isn't it? Hearing this, the assistant starts sweating and thinks, so our boss likes boys. Does that mean he's gay? But he can't say it directly, otherwise his boss would beat him like a dog. And here Myoning is thinking, if I say yes, I'm trapped. If I say no, I'm still trapped. And I don't want my assistant to find out about my illness. Meanwhile, Yang is taking full advantage of the situation and enjoying it a lot. He says, why are you so quiet, Myoning? Tell me, am I saying something wrong? Myoning lowers his head and angrily says, you donkey's kid. Do you want me to open my mouth here? Myoning doesn't want anyone, not his assistant or anyone else, to ever find out about his illness at any cost. And no one should know that after Kesu came near him, his illness went away. So to hide the illness part, even though he doesn't want to, he accepts it and says, yes, I like him and I can do anything to make him mine. But while saying this, he feels really bad. And in that sadness, he drinks another glass of alcohol. The assistant has already understood that his boss is gay. Then Yang hands over all the documents to Myoning which have information about Kesu, and he thinks, let's see how long you can keep up this drama. Finally, Myoning finds out Kesu's name, his age, his job, and also that he uploads online videos about cooking. He immediately starts working on a plan with Yang and his assistant. Now in the next scene, we see Kesu sitting in front of his computer. He has just uploaded a new video and is thinking, I worked really hard on today's video, so I should get lots of likes and comments. But no matter how much effort he put in, it all went to waste because he gets no likes or views. This makes him very sad. We see his cat comforting him. Meanwhile, Kesu is sleeping very sadly, thinking no matter how much effort I put in, no matter how good videos I make, no one watches them. Should I just give up here? Suddenly a notification comes on Kesu's phone. Seeing it, he gets extremely shocked. A very big company has sent him a joining offer. They want to promote his videos and sponsor his YouTube career. Kesu becomes super happy and surprised. He thinks, how did this happen so suddenly? In the next scene, we see Kesu in that big company for the interview. But he is very scared here, and soon we find out why, because around him we see lots of dangerous gun-type people. Kesu starts thinking, I've been fooled again. It feels like these people aren't going to give me a job, they'll scam me, take out my kidney and sell it. Then the company owner arrives and it's none other than Yang. Seeing him, Kesu gets really shocked. Yang comes and sweetly asks, did I make you wait too long? How do you like our office? Kesu replies that everything is very good. then fearfully asks, "Who are those people outside?" Yang fools him and says, "They are our Korean pop idols." But then Kesu comes to the point and asks, "So tell me, why do you want to give me a job? I'm not some big influencer." Yang smiles and answers, "Our company is thinking of supporting not just actors, singers, and dancers, but also some YouTubers so that in the future our company becomes even bigger. This project has just started, so we're looking for some good influencers. That's when we found out about you. You make really good videos, so we thought we should give this opportunity to you first." Here Yang is saying all this very sweetly. The assistant thinks, isn't he overacting a bit too much? Then we see Yang placing a contract in front of Kesu and saying, "Don't think too much. Our company is really good. Read it and sign it." Kesu starts reading the contract. He sees everything is really good: clothes, set, ingredients, everything will be provided. Plus, just for signing the contract he will get $50,000. Seeing that, Kesu gets extremely shocked because why would any company give $50,000 just at the time of giving work? Meanwhile, we see Myoning in his office, watching Kesu through the cameras and smiling while thinking, "I was waiting for exactly this expression. How can anyone refuse so much money? He will definitely agree." Myoning was fully confident that Kesu would sign without reading the contract properly, just seeing the money. But Kesu immediately puts the contract back on the table. Yang starts sweating and quickly says, "Why didn't you sign it? Do you want more money? Tell me. I can negotiate and increase it." But Kesu immediately refuses and says, No, you're misunderstanding. This contract is actually really good. But if you give me so much money, it will be wrong for the company. I don't want you to suffer loss because of me." Yang says, "I think you're misunderstanding something. Don't worry at all. We are not bad people. We won't trap you or scam you." Kesu says, "No, that's not the issue. The contract is great and the money is great too. But if I start working for you and take so much money, I will have to make really good videos. The videos I make aren't that great, nor is the quality high. Plus, I'm a full-time office employee. I have to go to my job. Whatever little time I get, I make videos and that. But if I start making videos for you, I'll have to leave my real job. And the thing is, I make videos for my happiness. If I make them bound by a contract, I won't feel any joy at all. Because once I sign, no matter what, I'll have to make videos, but I don't want to make them under force." Hearing this, Yang keeps a fake smile on his face and says, "I can understand what you're saying." But in his mind he's thinking, "Myoning, you donkey's kid, where did you pick up this idiot from? Which sensible person refuses such a good contract and kicks their own stomach? Is his brain okay? How can anyone refuse $50,000? And then we see Kesu getting a call. He panics and says, "Sorry," and immediately runs away to take the call. Yang puts all the blame on the assistant and says, "He ran away because of your donkey-like face." Outside we see Kesu has taken the call. It's from his mom. She says, "Idiot, where are you? I told you to come home early today. Your auntie is coming with her daughter. We were going to introduce you to today." "Right," Kesu says. "Okay, I understood. I'll come home soon." But here Kesu wants to share this big happiness with his mom and tell her that because of his videos he's getting work from a big company. So he starts, "Mom, do you remember I make videos on YouTube?" But his mom doesn't want to hear any of it. She immediately cuts him off and says, "Are you still doing that useless work? When will you get some sense? You don't have much time left. Your age is increasing and you're wasting it on useless things. Go study properly, do a good course, get a decent job. But no, you want to waste your life like this. Do you always want to live in poverty? How many years has it been since you finished your studies? But till today you haven't done any proper work, haven't got any good job. You don't even help with Tapaisa and household expenses. How long will you sit at home eating free food and burning my blood?" Kesu can't listen anymore. He immediately cuts the call and says, "I understood. You don't care about my feelings at all. My likes and dislikes don't matter to you. You want money, right? Now I'll show you how much money I can earn." Then in the next scene we see Kesu going back into the meeting room with full confidence. Yang gets really panicked. Kesu looks at him and says, "I'm ready. I'll sign the contract right now." Seeing this, Myoning watching on camera, Yang and the assistant all get extremely shocked. The next scene starts. We see Kesu has come back home from his mom's place. He takes a bath, comes out and says, "I knew it. My mom was using the meeting excuse to introduce me to another girl." Then he immediately says, "My mom taunting me again and again, forcing me for marriage. It feels worse than going to my job." After that he goes to the contract again, picks it up and starts reading. He thinks, no matter how many times I've read it, I don't see any scam here. I don't think these people are going to cheat me. And at that moment his eyes fall on a clause. He will get a personal manager who will live with him in his house. Kesu gets very happy and excited. He thinks, will I get the same boy I met in the office today? Here Kesu is blushing while thinking about Yang, and thinks, that guy was really handsome. And suddenly the doorbell rings. Kesu thinks, who has come to my house so late at night? He slowly opens the door and peeks. We see Mayoning standing right in front of him. Kesu gets really shocked. Mayoning says, good evening, I am your new personal manager. This is how we find out that starting today, Mayoning is going to live with Kesu, which he was very happy about. But Kesu is super scared and says, how do you keep showing up everywhere I go? And here this chapter ends. Guys, just like we saw in the previous chapter, Kesu signs the contract with Shuyang Entertainment. After that, he finds out that Mayoning is going to be his personal manager. So chapter 5 starts with us seeing Mayoning giving his introduction to Kesu and telling him that from today, he is his personal manager. But Kesu immediately gets scared and starts closing his room door, shouting, you psycho stalker, how did you reach here too? If you don't leave right now, I'm definitely calling the police this time. Seeing Kesu trying to shut the door, Mayoning gets worried and immediately grabs the door, which scares Kesu even more. He backs away in fear, trembling badly. We see Mayoning walking straight towards him. Now Mayoning has forcibly entered his house. Meanwhile, Kesu slowly keeps moving backwards. Suddenly his foot hits something and he starts falling backwards. But as he's falling, he grabs Mayoning's clothes. And as Kesu falls, Moning also falls right on top of him. Here again we see Mayoning immediately covering Kesu's mouth with his hand and creepily telling him, even if you scream your lungs out here, no one will be able to save you. And with one hand he holds both of Kesu's hands so he can't move. After that we see Kesu has fainted. Mayoning is slapping him to wake him up and saying, open your eyes. As soon as Kesu regains consciousness, he sees Mayoning has put his phone on his face. Kesu immediately gets up and looks at the phone. It's a call from Dong Yang, the CEO of Yang Entertainment. Here we see Yang completely drenched in sweat. He tells Kesu that, tall, broad, trustworthy, and handsome man you're seeing, his name is May, and he's going to be your personal manager. When he says trustworthy, Kesu thinks, how does he look trustworthy to you? But Yang completely ignores Kesu's words and says, if he's not trustworthy, he's definitely handsome, right? Kesu immediately tells him, that's not the point. No matter what, I can't make him my personal manager. Anyway, tell me, do I really have to share my house with him? Yang replies, you go to your job all day, so Mayoning will only stay with you at night. Since you make videos at night, he'll assist you. And if you have trouble with him staying in the house, we can even buy a bigger house for you. You just shine and give orders to Mayoning. He'll listen to everything you say. Kesu is about to say something, but by then Yang is already hung up. Here we see Mayoning staring at Kesu and Kesu is thinking, a mouse has gotten trapped in a cat's net. After that Mayoning starts going inside the house, and Kesu just sits there quietly. While going in, Mayoning says, do you have something to eat? I'm really hungry. Now Kesu gives Mayoning some cookies and instant coffee. Seeing that, Mayoning says, you're a food blogger, right? And this useless food is lying in your house. Kesu replies, if it's food, eat it. If not, there's the door. Take your path and leave. But then Mayoning notices that Kesu is still very scared of him. So Mayoning tells him, relax. Why are you so scared of me? I'm not going to eat you. Anyway, whatever happened between us before was a misunderstanding. And besides, you don't need to think so much about it because you're not my type at all. On this, Kesu immediately looks at him and says, I'm not your type. How can you say that? But Mayoning ignores his words and starts eating the cookies that Kesu made, praising them a lot. But then Kesu notices Mayoning and sees a part of his body reacting. He understands that Mayoning is getting really excited. On the surface he smiles and says, thank you. But in his mind he's thinking, this idiot lies so perfectly. The moment he looked at me, his body reacted and he got so excited and he's telling me I'm not his type. Who is he trying to fool? After that we see Mayoning casually enjoying the cookies. But Kesu is thinking, I've really messed with the wrong guy. Then we see Mayoning suddenly starting to take off his clothes. Kesu panics badly, immediately stands up to run away, thinking, now he's definitely going to eat me. He's definitely planning something evil. Meanwhile, Mayoning looks at him and thinks, this idiot boy, why is he so scared of me? If his cookies didn't cure my illness, I wouldn't even give him a second thought. Then Mayoning immediately lies down on the couch and says, anyway, you don't need to worry. I'm not going to stay here for long. Just for a few days, then I'll leave. And suddenly Kesu's cat climbs right on top of Mayoning smiles and says, cute cat, did you bring a blanket for me? Are you going to be my blanket? But then Kesu notices something and is about to stop Mayoning. We see Mayoning lovingly petting the cat and enjoying it a lot. And suddenly the cat empties its stomach right on Mayoning and runs away. Mayoning is left shocked. Kesu says, my cat always does this when she doesn't like someone. Then Mayoning gets up and says, now I think I'll have to use your shower too. Kesu gets surprised hearing this and says, are you going to bathe here? But another thing scaring him a lot is that the cat already emptied on the couch. That means this psycho is going to sleep on the bed with him now. After that, Mayoning goes to take a bath. Meanwhile, Kesu comes to his bed and starts cursing himself. Why did I fall for the greed and go to that company? Then he thinks, if I had never gone on that blind date, I wouldn't have met this goon, and my life wouldn't have come into such a dangerous situation. He keeps cursing himself in thousands of ways that he shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. Now Kesu is crying and wetting the bed, thinking, the partnership I signed with that company, I put my thumbprint on my own death warrant with my own hands. Kesu is crying over his bad luck and soaking his bed. Then we see Mayoning in the bathroom shouting, can I wear your clothes? But Kesu doesn't hear him. He's on his bed, very panicked. Mayoning comes out and asks, do you have some clothes I can wear? But then his eyes fall on Kesu, who is trembling badly in fear. Now Mayoning starts thinking, am I really that scary that this boy is shaking so much because of me? Kesu keeps feeling again and again that Mayoning will come to him now, get on the bed. He's extremely scared. But then Mayoning says goodnight to him. Kesu gets really surprised, and we see Mayoning has fallen asleep on Kesu's couch, exactly on the spot where the cat had already made it wet. Kesu is also very surprised by this gesture. The scene cuts here, and the next scene directly shows the morning. Kesu has woken up because his alarm is ringing. He gets up and starts moving forward, but then his eyes fall on Mayo. Seeing him, he panics a lot and immediately goes towards Mayoning. He's staring at him with wide eyes. Then he sits near Mayoning and thinks, he didn't even try to come near me. He apologizes to Mayoning, saying, forgive me for misunderstanding you. Then Kesu looks at him and thinks, sleeping on the couch must have been really painful and uncomfortable. The poor guy slept on the couch all night. Looks like he's also a salary guy like me, works in an office, not some gangster. I shouldn't have judged him by his looks. And Kesu looks at him with a very cute smile. Then he immediately gets up and leaves, thinking, now it's time for my office. As soon as Kesu leaves, we see Mayoning opening his eyes, which tells us that Mayoning was only pretending to sleep all this time. Mayoning says, good thing I woke up an hour ago. Then we're shown the night scene again where Mayoning is trying hard to sleep on the sofa, tossing and turning, but sleep isn't coming at all. Finally Tidy gets up and thinks, this couch is so useless and so small. How much trouble I'm having sleeping here. Why am I doing so much for this idiot boy? And on top of that, his snoring is troubling me. Then Mayoning gets up from there and goes near Kesu. Seeing him, he says, this boy looks quite innocent, but he snores like an animal. Then Mayoning says, anyway, forgive me. I'm not doing this to bully or trouble you. And he immediately pushes Kesu against the wall like that and comfortably sleeps on the bed. Poor Kesu is stuck against the wall. After that, we see Mayoning waking up after Kesu leaves. While wearing Kesu's clothes, he thinks, this boy goes to the office so early. Then Mayoning is about to go freshen up, but his eyes fall on breakfast. Kesu had made something spicy for him and left a note. Forgive me for misunderstanding you. Let's start everything again and live nicely. Mayoning happily starts eating it and finds it very tasty. But as soon as he eats, Mayoning gets excited again. Now in the next scene, we see Kesu in his office, looking very happy. But then something feels strange to him. He asks his co-worker, what's happening here? The colleague tells him, our new boss is coming. And everyone is hoping it's not some dangerous guy who will force overtime. Then their new boss arrives and is introduced as Mr. Zhang, the new boss here. We see Mr. Zhang looking straight at Kesu, and Kesu quietly stands at the back. The scene cuts here, and the next scene shows Mayoning meeting his friend Yang. He gives him some food. Yang says, what nonsense stuff have you brought here? And Yang tells him, if you come again without telling me, I won't meet you at all. You know I have to run a business. But then Yang immediately starts flirting with Mayoning and says, if you want, I'll leave all this and make time for you. But for that, you'll have to take care of me. So tell me, are you ready to take care of me? Mayoning slaps his face and says, take care of you in your dreams. Stop your nonsense and come to the point. Look, I brought food made by Kesu. Go check it and find out what's in it that cures my illness. But then Yang tells him, there's nothing special in these cookies or food that can fix your problem. You have a psychological condition that's making you feel like it's curing you, so you don't need to worry. Anyway, you get cured by eating those cookies. Hearing this, Mayoning also gets into deep thought. Then Yang says, anyway, don't worry, just stay with him, and I'll slowly figure out your psychological condition and we'll treat it. Staying with him can be very beneficial for you anyway. Kesu is quite innocent and cute. It'll be fun being strict with him. On this, Mayoning also thinks and says, yeah, Kesu's skin is really soft. But then he realizes and says, wait, how long do you want me to stay with him? Yang jokingly says, a few months or a full year, your choice. You can stay with him as long as you want. Mayoning says, even if I want to, he won't keep me with him. He'll kick me out of the house soon. Hearing this, Yang gets really surprised and smiles, saying, he really thought I was serious when I said he has to stay with Kesu for a year. Whatever I say, he believes it immediately. Then he immediately tells Mayoning just take care of him, behave nicely, try to be a bit charming, woo him so he agrees to keep you with him. And the scene cuts there. The next scene shows Kesu returning home. He thinks, ever since this new boss came, my life has become even more troubled. And on top of that, the danger living in my house, I'm stuck between a well and a ditch. Kesu is trying to enter his house. Then we see a couple coming behind him. Kesu doesn't want to hear their talk, but they're talking very loudly. The boy and girl look very close. Their loving talks and actions surprise Kesu a lot, and he feels a bit jealous. He thinks, I wish there was someone in my life who cared about me this much. After that, Kesu somehow reaches his house. As soon as he looks to the side, he sees Mayoning standing right there. Mayoning was waiting for him. As soon as Mayoning sees Kesu, he remembers Yang's words that he has to woo him. He sweetly says, welcome home. Kesu gets really surprised and says with a cute smile, thank you so much. And here this chapter ends. Today's chapter summary of Don't Eat My Cookies. Manhwa starts with us seeing Kesu sending some of his earned money to his mom. But as always, his mom is insisting he get married, which he ignores and starts having dinner with Mayoning. Suddenly Mayoning tells him, I need to talk to you about something. Mayoning feels that Kesu is troubled by him staying there. He wanted to talk about that and also that he doesn't like the food Kesu makes. Kesu thinks maybe Mayoning is going to fire him from the job, so he gets really worried. Then he shouts at Mayoning, whatever you want, I'll do it. You can stay here as long as you want. Just don't fire me from the job. Mayoning understands that Kesu isn't going to kick him out of the house, so he says, okay then, let's eat now. Let's forget about this. After dinner, Mayoning tells Kesu, you cooked, so I'll wash the dishes. Kesu gets really surprised. Then he goes to put an apron on Mayoning. While doing that, Kesu's eyes fall on Mayoning's body parts and he realizes Mayoning is quite excited. Seeing that, Kesu gets scared and immediately runs to hide in the bathroom. In his mind, Kesu is thinking, why does Mayoning get excited every time he looks at me? It doesn't take him long to understand maybe Mayoning likes him. Then he immediately comes out and starts staring at Mayoning very sweetly. Mayoning asks, what happened to you? Kesu says, thank you so much, bro. Bro. Hearing the word bro, Mayoning gets extremely shocked. This tells us that Kesu is about to put Mayoning in the bro zone. Now Kesu tells Mayoning, I can understand you. You can get excited anywhere, anytime. That's your problem, right? And both of them start looking towards Mayoning's lower part at the same time. Suddenly, Kesu asks, you're not going to say that all this is because of me, right? Mayoning thinks, I can't tell him the truth, so he lies and says, yes, you're absolutely right. It's happening because of you. Kesu hugs him and says, no problem, I can understand you. You'll slowly get rid of these feelings. As soon as Kesu's mom call ends, we see Mayoning silently getting very angry. Then in anger he thinks, instead of doing all this, it would have been better if I just kidnapped this idiot, tied him with ropes, and made him make cookies as per my wish. Asterisk. Now the next scene directly shows nighttime. Kesu has finished his work. His eyes fall on his cat, who is with May. He thinks, even this cat turned out to be a traitor. Then Kesu goes near Mayoning and thinks, the poor guy works all day, yet he has to come here and sleep on my sofa. Plus his appearance is like that, people must misunderstand him a lot. Kesu feels bad for Mayoning, so he wakes him up and says, bro, why don't you go sleep on my bed? First Mayoning stares at him, then quietly gets up and goes to sleep on the bed. Kesu gets very confused and thinks, he's just like a puppy. He listens to whatever I say. In the next scene we see Mayoning sleeping. Suddenly his eyes open and he feels like a girl is on top of him. Mayoning happily starts cuddling her, but as soon as he sees her face, it's Kesu's face. He gets really scared and suddenly opens his eyes. We realize it was Mayoning's dream. In reality, we see Kesu is clinging to Mayoning very closely. Mayoning immediately gets up, runs away, and goes straight to the washroom. He thinks, after so long I had a good dream, but even in that, his face appeared. I didn't know that staying with Dong Yang would turn me gay to Dong. Mayoning leaves. Kesu suddenly starts feeling very cold. Now the next scene shows morning. Kesu wakes up and goes straight to the washroom where Mayoning is already sitting. Mayoning says, do you need the washroom? Kesu says, no, you go first, and leaves. But we see Mayoning feeling very embarrassed. Then Kesu calls Mayoning for breakfast, but he has prepared the food in a very strange way. Seeing that, Mayoning gets really surprised, but Kesu is laughing. Myeoning angrily attacks the food and says, "You're finding this very funny." Kesu starts laughing even louder, but Myeoning quietly finishes the food and says, "Idiot." After that, both get ready and leave for their respective work. Now we see Myeoning immediately switching to a serious Mafia look. He goes into an alley and calls one of his men. Then he reaches a base where everyone is showing him a lot of respect. There, a Mafia from another city is waiting for Myeoning, sitting on Myeoning's own chair. Myeoning glares at him angrily, but that Mafia comes forward and says, "It's been a long time, my old friend." Myeoning comes straight to the point and says, "What are you doing in my area? Do you know your men are creating trouble here?" The other Mafia says, "You know how our men are. They don't listen to anyone. You shouldn't get angry over such a small thing. Anyway, your men are also stealing my stuff." "Did I say anything?" Myeoning angrily says, "Stop your nonsense. Why would my men steal your stuff?" The Mafia, whose name is Leopard, says, "I was just joking. Stop fighting over such small things. Come, let's drink together." And he leaves. But he was glaring at Myeoning in a very evil way. After he leaves, Myeoning also realizes something is wrong. Is a war about to start between all the Mafias? So he tells his man, "Keep an eye on Leopard, and tell our men to stay alert. Also, give that chair he was sitting on to him." His assistant gets very angry and thinks, "My boss is completely childish." Now Myeoning returns home soaked in the rain. Suddenly he hears shouting from inside, which panics him a lot. We see Kesu calling for help. In the next scene, Myeoning rushes inside, hearing Keshu's voice. He thinks, "Did one of my enemies find out about this place and attack Kesu?" But as soon as he looks inside, he sees Kesu crushed under a mattress. Myeoning asks, "What happened here?" Kesu says, "As soon as I came home, I found this mattress. When I opened it, I got stuck under it and couldn't get out." Myeoning says, "You're an idiot. If I hadn't come, who would have saved you?" In the next scene, we see Myeoning spreading a sheet on that same mattress, thinking, "I'm a Mafia boss, and I have to make my own bed." Then he thinks, "I should rest for a while." But suddenly Kesu jumps on the mattress and starts sleeping lovingly with his cat. Myeoning asks, "What are you doing?" Kesu says, "I've seen on TV that people sleep like this on mattresses." Myeoning doesn't understand anything he's saying, but Kesu says, "No problem. I was overthinking anyway." Myeoning thinks, "Does he also want to work in a TV commercial? I can easily arrange that." Then both start talking about work together. Kesu is explaining his videos and recipes very nicely. He's very happy because finally he can share his passion with someone. Then he immediately asks Myeoning, "How did you like my idea? What do you say about it?" Myeoning blushes, looks away and says, "It was really good." But Kesu misunderstands. He thinks Myeoning is avoiding eye contact because he doesn't care about his ideas. Kesu gets very sad and says, "I admit because of me you have to stay here and do this work. I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't have told you these ideas." Myeoning says, "Don't worry. Your ideas are really good. I'm the idiot who couldn't understand them." Kesu says, "But Mr. Yang said you're experienced." Myeoning makes an excuse. "I've never worked with I've only worked with idols or film stars." Kesu realizes he misunderstood Myeoning again. So he says, "No problem. It happens with everyone. Everyone has problems with new work. I can understand." Myeoning holds his hand and says, "Yes, exactly. Everyone has problems in the office. Today, a bastard took my chair from my office." Kesu says, "Don't worry, I'll help you completely. I'll get you a new chair." Myeoning pats his head and says, "You're really good." Kesu happily says, "Let's give our best." Then we see both preparing for the video together. Kesu is explaining to Myeoning how to operate the camera properly. Then he starts shooting the video. At first, Kesu feels very embarrassed, but Myeoning gives him confidence and he starts working hard, making food. Suddenly the blender stops working. He gets shocked. Myeoning comes and asks, "What happened?" Kesu says, "The blender is broken. I think we should stop today's video here." Myeoning says, "Don't worry, I'll help you. Just don't be sad." Kesu gets very happy and says, "Okay then, I'll make full use of your hands." This sounds weird to me, but we see Kesu is asking Myeoning to manually blend the batter. Myeoning gets very tired, but Kesu's work gets done, though a bit messed up. Kesu says, "Leave it, we'll manage with today's video." But when Kesu checks the camera, there's no video, only one picture. Myeoning realizes his mistake and says, "Forgive me, I forgot to turn on the video." Kesu smiles and says, "No problem, it's my fault too. I should have checked first." But Myeoning sees that Kesu is hiding his pain and sadness, all his hard work wasted because of Myeoning. So Myeoning feels bad and says, "Whatever you want, tell me. I'm ready to do it for you." Kesu gets surprised and says, "You don't need to." But Myeoning insists, "Tell me what you want. I'm ready to do it. Kesu starts backing away. Mayoning comes closer, gets very close and says, no need to be shy. Just tell me straight, what do you want? Kesu gets very panicked and fearfully says, I just want to go to a cafe. Its name is Pink Cafe. Mayoning immediately smiles and says, that's it, come, let's go. In the next scene we see Mayoning has brought Kesu to that cafe. Kesu feels very awkward and we understand why. It's a slightly spicy cafe with beautiful boys wearing revealing clothes. It's an entertainment area. After that they go inside. Mayoning is glaring angrily at Kesu because he didn't know it was such a place. Seeing Mayoning's anger, Kesu fearfully says, you yourself said you're ready to do whatever I want. I've never come to a place like this. That's why I asked to come here. Mayoning calms down and says, now that we're here, what else can we do? But he's cursing his assistant in his mind, thinking, that bastard should have told me what kind of place this is. And because Mayoning is thinking about him so much, his assistant starts sneezing non-stop and thinks, I didn't know my boss is so colorful that he'd come to such a nice place. Meanwhile, Leopard, the Mafia passing by, notices Mayoning's assistant and thinks, what is he doing here? An evil smile appears on his face. In the next scene, a boy is flirting with Kesu. Mayoning is getting very angry seeing all this and thinks, Kesu looks so innocent, but his mind is full of dirty thoughts. He's flirting with these boys, but when I kissed him he punched me. Then that waiter asks Kesu, what would you like to eat? I'm ready to bring everything. Mayoning angrily slams his hand and says, bring us everything you have. Bring it all here, Kesu says. We can't eat so much. Mayoning says, then we'll pack it and take it home. Mayoning wants to get that boy away at any cost, but the boy happily leaves because Mayoning is spending a lot of money. Now just as Mayoning wanted, everything arrives, which means a lot of boys come. Mayoning thought they'd bring food, but only 2 boys come, which disappoints him. Some boys are flirting with Mayoning, but he keeps moving away. Then Kesu asks, is this your first time here? Mayoning says, it's not like that, but from his reaction, Kesu understands it's his first time and starts smiling and laughing. Suddenly a boy gets very close to Kesu, which shocks him. Before any boy can get closer to Kesu, Mayoning stops them all, angrily chases them away, and sits very close to Kesu. But here Kesu misunderstands again. He thinks Mayoning likes bodybuilder-type boys. That's why he rejected him earlier and said he's not his type. In the next scene, both finish and come out. Mayoning starts looking for his assistant. Kesu says, wasn't that your colleague? He left a long time ago. Mayoning starts sweating. Kesu says, come, let's take the subway. On the way they pass a shop where Kesu sees some beautiful crockery. He wants to buy it, but it's very expensive, so he just admires it with his eyes. Kesu wants to show it to Mayoning too, but Mayoning is still in shock. In his mind he only has the image of Kesu getting close to those boys. Then Mayoning says, earlier you were clinging so much to that boy, go shopping with him. Anyway, I don't have time and I've never dated anyone, so I don't know how shopping works. Kesu can't digest that and says, really? You've never dated anyone? Mayoning angrily says, I should ask you the same. Have you ever dated anyone? Because if you had, you'd know you don't take your girlfriend to a place like the one we went to today. Kesu shouts, I've never had a girlfriend, so I don't know what to do. Mayoning angrily says, you're so cute, how come you never had a girlfriend? Kesu becomes quiet. A girl standing behind thinks these 2 lovers are fighting. Now Kesu angrily starts leaving, thinking just because he's a bit taller and handsome, he thinks he can make fun of me. But Mayoning also finds Kesu very cute. In his mind only Kesu's memories are coming, and he realizes when they first met, he kissed Kesu and Kesu has never dated anyone till today. That means Mayoning was his first kiss. Now Mayoning starts feeling that maybe he took advantage of Kesu wrongly. In the next scene, Kesu comes back angrily. Mayoning clears his words and says, even if you've never dated anyone, you'll quickly find someone good. Kesu thinks, yes, I know that very well. Then Mayoning says, anyway, I didn't know people like such places. When we went to that cafe today, Kesu tells him that place isn't famous just for boys, it's famous for its food. They make really good food, especially desserts. If I were a girl, I'd go there every time because I want to cook exactly like them. They make amazing food. I'm nothing compared to them. Mayoning comforts him and says, you shouldn't think like that. The food you make is very unique. You shouldn't compare. But Kesu misunderstands again and says, unique? Do you think my food is nonsense? If you think so, insult me directly. Don't insult me behind my back like this. Mayoning calmly explains, not at all. I'm not insulting you. Your food is really good. It's very important to me. Kesu gets really surprised. The next scene directly shows the subway. Both are in the train. Kesu starts feeling sleepy. Mayoning thinks, it's been so many years since I sat in a subway or went on a proper date like this. It feels really good today. And then we see Kesu resting his head on Mayoning's shoulder and falling asleep. And here this chapter ends. With that, let's start today's chapter. We see Mayoning with an evil smile saying, if you listen to everything I say, I won't hurt you at all. So come on, spread your legs now. Then we're shown that Mayoning is holding a trimmer and pinning down Kesu's cat. He says, today I'm going to make you bald. Let's see after this how you ruin my clothes. And then a full-on fight starts between the two of them. But suddenly Kesu arrives, rescues his cat, and says, don't even think about troubling my cat while I'm here. Here we see poor Mayoning crying. He angrily says, look what your cat did. It scratched my beautiful face. But Kesu takes his cat's side and says, cats do this all the time. Who told you to mess with her? You must have troubled her first, and she's taking revenge. This makes Mayoning even angrier. The poor guy gets very sad and thinks, I've never felt this bad before. I'm getting scolded so much even without doing anything wrong. No one cares about me. He's really down. But then Kesu comes to comfort him. Mayoning angrily tells him to go away. Then Kesu gives him something to eat and says, eat this. Your mood will get better right away. And it's a very cute cat-shaped sandwich. Mayoning immediately starts eating it, and Kesu is taking his picture. As soon as Mayoning takes one bite of that sandwich, he sees heaven in front of him. He loves it. Kesu asks, so tell me, how did it taste? Mayoning starts non-stop praising it. Then Mayoning asks, what did you put in this? It's absolutely amazing. Kesu says, go watch my videos, you'll find out. By the way, Kesu had already made and uploaded that video himself, and the scene cuts here. Now the next scene shows Kesu waking up suddenly. As soon as he checks his phone, he gets extremely shocked. He shouts to wake Mayoning, Mayoning, get up quick. Look at this video, it has more than 20 lakh views. Mayoning says, yeah, nice dream. Go back to sleep. Kesu happily says, this isn't a dream, it's completely real. Both get super happy. Seeing Kesu so joyful makes Mayoning really happy too. And the scene cuts here. The next episode shows Kesu's office. Someone comes and tells him, the new boss is calling you. When Kesu goes to talk to him, the boss asks, which project are you working on? Kesu says he hasn't been given any project yet. Suddenly the boss asks, Kesu, how many drinks can you handle? Kesu gets really shocked by this question. To seeing that, the boss immediately tells him to leave. Kesu quietly goes away. As soon as he enters the washroom, he meets a boy there. Kesu tells him, no matter how hard I work in this office, nothing's going to happen for me. My boss doesn't like me at all. Then both wish each other good luck for work and go their separate ways. But that boy feels Kesu's voice is very familiar. After getting really tired, Kesu finally returns home and starts talking to his mom. He wants to tell her about his blog, but his mom doesn't listen at all and says, you should focus on your job. I want to introduce you to Auntie Lo's daughter. She's doing really well in life and has become a branch manager. I think you two should date. Hearing this, Kesu again holds his head and thinks, it started again. Why doesn't she ever listen to me? I wanted to tell her my videos got 20 lakh views, but she never listens. Then we see Mayoning arriving there. Kesu notices him too. Mayoning looks at Kesu and remembers how happy he was in the morning, but now he looks so sad. Seeing that, Mayoning immediately goes and hugs him. Kesu gets really surprised and says, are you drunk? Why did you suddenly hug me? Mayoning says, you looked really down. I thought you needed comforting, so I did it. Do you feel better now? Hearing this, Kesu gets very surprised and says, yes, absolutely, I feel much better. We see Mayoning patting his head again. Then Mayoning avoids eye contact and asks, so now tell me I'm better than those boys you met at the cafes, right? This tells us Mayoning was jealous of them. Then Mayoning immediately gets up to leave and says, come on, quickly make something to eat. I'm really hungry. While sitting there, Mayoning thinks, he asked why I hugged him. My wish, I'll hug him whenever I want. Then he questions his own hands, but I also want to know why I hugged him. Now we directly see the scene after dinner. Mayoning changes clothes and comes to sleep. His eyes fall on Kesu, who is still editing. He tells Kesu to sleep too. Kesu says, you go first, I'll come later. Meanwhile, we see Kesu blushing badly. He keeps remembering today's hug and can't forget it. That's why he's feeling very shy to face Mayoning. Kesu thinks, his hug felt really good to me. Then he immediately scolds himself. But I shouldn't think about this. After that, we see Mayoning has fallen asleep. Kesu sits near him, looks at his face, and says, he looks so cute even while sleeping. Kesu says, he figured out so easily that I was sad and needed a hug. I can't even hide my feelings. Then Kesu looks at Myeoning's chest and thinks, anyway, he doesn't like me. I'm not his type. But seeing Myeoning like this, Kesu can't resist. He immediately goes near his chest to listen to his heartbeat. But as soon as Kesu does that, we see Myeoning's heartbeat suddenly gets really fast. Kesu gets scared and immediately backs away. He panics so much that he jumps straight onto Myeoning and goes to his own bed. Poor Myeoning starts feeling like throwing up blood. Kesu, hiding under the sheet, thinks, what have I done? First I called him pervert and stalker. Now what will he call me? And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows the next morning. Kesu suddenly wakes up and shouts, bro, you should have woken me up. Myeoning is already making breakfast for him. Kesu immediately comes and starts eating. But he's clearly remembering last night's hug very well. Then he suddenly notices Myeoning changing clothes. Kesu gets shocked seeing his body and starts staring at him with his mouth open, drooling. Myeoning immediately wipes his mouth and says, are you still sleeping? What are you doing at the dining table? Kesu thinks, I'm probably in big trouble. In the next scene we see Kesu in his office, happily reading the sweet comments on his videos. He's feeling really good. His channel has reached 1 lakh subscribers, which shocks him a lot. Then suddenly he sees a comment that reminds him he had promised his subscribers that as soon as he hits 1 lakh he would do He immediately panics and thinks, how did I forget about this? While leaving, he suddenly gets a message from the Pink Cafe people. They're inviting him to an event. Kesu is thinking whether he should go or not, and the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Kesu reaching home. He receives a parcel and happily brings it inside. Myeoning asks, what are you doing? Kesu says, nothing. Then he says, I got a gift. Do you want to see it? The Pink Cafe people sent some food items probably as a gift. Do you want to see? Myeoning thinks, now what gift have those people sent? As soon as he opens it, there's lingerie inside, meaning very small, revealing clothes. Kesu asks, what food did they send? Myeoning immediately shows him an underwear and says, this. Then Kesu remembers he had told a waiter to give him his clothes, and that waiter sent these because Kesu has to do cross-dressing for his fans. Kesu gets extremely shocked and scared, immediately snatches it and says, what have I done? How did I forget about this? And why did it end up in Myeoning's hands? Myeoning is looking at him surprised, but Kesu is very scared. Myeoning immediately puts his hand on Kesu's shoulder and says, my dear, I won't judge you at all for this. Everyone has their own preferences. This is your choice. Kesu shouts, what nonsense are you talking? Are you making fun of me? And he immediately tells his cat, go tiger, attack him. Kesu's cat immediately attacks Myeoning. After their cartoon fight, we see Myeoning asking, why did you order this? Kesu explains it's a trend. When any influencer reaches 1 lakh subscribers, they have to do Then Kesu says, I just wanted to see. I didn't know they'd send the clothes here. Myeoning says, then go try it on. Kesu looks at him shocked and says, what did you say? Myeoning looks very serious and says, if you need help wearing it, I'll help you. And Myeoning immediately pushes Kesu into the bathroom and says, wear it and come out right now. Kesu gets really shocked. Now Myeoning is sitting waiting for Kesu, thinking, you always troubled me. Now it's my turn. He's wondering why it's taking so long. Suddenly Kesu comes out wearing that lingerie, the maid costume. Myeoning's eyes stay wide open. The poor guy is in complete shock. Kesu is feeling very shy and blushing badly. He says, does it not look good on me? His cat's heart melts seeing Kesu and immediately clings to him. We see Myeoning remembering his dream where he saw Kesu as a female and now he's looking exactly like that. Myeoning starts blushing a lot and says, amazing, it looks really good on you. Kesu says, stop joking. Then his foot hits something and he starts falling. Myeoning immediately goes to him, catches him, and saves him from falling. Now both are very close. Myeoning asks, are you okay? But Kesu's heart is pounding hard seeing Myeoning. Myeoning is feeling the same. Kesu says, I got really scared. Now you can let me go. But Myeoning isn't ready to let go and immediately hugs him. Both are shocked, just staring at each other. Kesu is blushing badly. Then Myeoning realizes he's probably excited. He looks down at his pants and immediately tells Kesu, you should have been careful. Anyway, you've become very careless. Kesu also understands that Myeoning is excited again. Myeoning immediately leaves Kesu there, runs away, and shouts, you're absolutely not wearing these clothes for your fans. Then we see Myeoning in the washroom questioning himself. I didn't even eat anything from Kesu just now. Then why am I getting so excited suddenly? But here Myoning is imagining Kesu and trying to relax himself, imagining Kesu's face while doing hand practice. The next scene directly shows the next day. Kesu is getting ready for office and tells Myoning, get up quickly and get ready. But Myoning isn't answering any of his questions. Kesu thinks maybe he's still sleeping and leaves, but we see poor Myoning, he didn't sleep all night. He was thinking about Kesu the whole night. He kept going to look at Kesu sleeping, finding him really cute. Myoning thinks, does this boy have no sense of danger at all? Doesn't he know he's living with such a dangerous person? And Myoning says, Kesu, you're playing with fire and you don't even know we see. Myoning couldn't sleep all night because he stayed excited the whole time. He couldn't forget Kesu's face in that maid costume. Will Myoning be able to control his excitement, or will Kesu help him in that case? We'll find out in the coming chapters. Let's start today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa. We see Kesu going to his office with lunch. Suddenly the boy from yesterday calls him over. That boy's name is Wong, and he works in the same office as Kesu didn't want to go, but since Wong is his senior, he had to as soon as Kesu reaches there. Wong immediately opens Kesu's tiffin and says, you brought such good food. Looks like your girlfriend takes really good care of you. Kesu starts thinking, why does every boy assume boys can't cook? Then he tells Wong, I made this myself. After that we see Wong talking non-stop about many things, but Kesu isn't paying attention to any of it. In the middle of talking, Wong casually asks, how do you even find time to make your videos after doing so much work? Kesu replies, I managed to make time. But suddenly it hits him. He gets shocked and asks, wait, how do you know about that? Wong shows him the food and says, because of your food, it looks exactly like what you make in your videos. Kesu immediately stuffs food in his mouth and says, stop talking about this here. Then Wong says, anyone who watches your videos can easily recognize your voice. It's clearly you. Kesu admits, yes, it's my channel. But he requests Wong, please don't tell anyone in the office about this. Wong says, but it would be better if everyone knew. Kesu replies, I don't want to tell everyone because I don't like explaining it again and again. Wong says, okay then, I'll keep it a secret. Kesu thanks him. Now Wong tries to give Kesu some food. Kesu refuses. Wong says, I'm your fan. That's why I'm giving it to you. You have to accept it. Then Wong leaves. Kesu thinks, was he always this nice? Then we see Wong going to meet the new manager. The manager tells him, call Kesu here. We're going to drink together. It's a client meeting, and his presence is necessary. Hearing this, Wong gets really happy and immediately gets ready. In the next scene, we see Myoning saying, take me to Yang's house. Then his secretary says, I caught a traitor. Myoning replies, I didn't sleep well last night, so I don't remember anything about this. The secretary says, why don't you shift to a better house with your boyfriend? Myoning snaps, who are you calling my boyfriend? Mind your own business. Then at the secret base we see a man tied up. Myoning and his secretary reach there. The secretary tells Myoning he was stealing from our casino. When I beat him, he spilled everything. But he's still stubborn and won't tell us who his boss is. Myoning says, I think he really wants to tell us something. As soon as they remove the tape from his mouth, the man starts shouting, Myoning, I've always been loyal to you. I have kids to raise. Please let me go. Don't kill me. If you let me go today, I promise I'll stay loyal forever. Myoning says, Leopard and I have always worked together. How dare you try to create fights between us? Don't you value your life? The man realizes Myoning already knows everything. He starts begging, Mr. Mao, I've always worked for you. Please forgive me. I really can't tell you who's behind this, otherwise my family and I will be killed. Hearing this, Myoning tells his secretary, let him go. As soon as he's freed, the man runs away. We see Myoning and the secretary chasing him, but suddenly the man crashes into a truck and his story ends there. Myoning says, why was he in such a hurry to die? We had one lead and it slipped away. Now how will we find out who's behind this? The secretary says, from my sources, I found out this guy was meeting the Godfather recently. The Godfather is the boss of all gangsters. Myoning thinks that old man is still causing problems even after retiring. I think I should go meet him today. And the scene cuts. The next scene shows a company meeting. Kesu is there with his boss. Kesu's boss is praising him a lot in front of the CEO. Kesu gets really shocked and thinks, today the sun rose in the west. Even the CEO praises Kesu a lot. They keep making him drink one after another. Kesu starts feeling bad. Then Wong asks him, are you okay? In the next scene, the company dinner is over. Everyone is leaving. Kesu's boss is heavily drunk. Wong tells Kesu drop him at a hotel. After that we see Kesu dropping his boss at the hotel and then sitting in the train to go home. Suddenly, Wong appears from nowhere and sits next to him, talking non-stop. Kesu isn't interested at all. Then Wong offers him a drink and says, "This will increase your alcohol tolerance." Kesu refuses and says, "No need. My previous manager always took me to company dinners and made me drink a lot. So now I'm used to it." Wong says, "Then I'm really jealous. I can't drink at all. I have to take medicines." Wong keeps talking more, but Kesu completely ignores him, takes out his phone, and thinks, "Now I've taken out my phone too. Hopefully he'll understand I don't want to talk and stop." Then he messages Mayoning, "I drank a lot today. Order some food because I won't be able to cook." Kesu thinks. He's not replying. Then Wong clings to him and says, "Your girlfriend isn't replying." Kesu panics, moves away and says, "It's nothing like that." Wong teases, "You two live together, spend dinners together, and you say it's nothing. Are you a cheater or what?" Kesu immediately runs away and says, "I'll see you tomorrow." After Kesu leaves, we see Wong staring at him in a very creepy way. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this guy is not okay at all. I'm getting creepy vibes from him. Outside, Kesu thinks, "I can't handle him anymore. I should have taken a taxi earlier. Everything is so annoying. I had to go to that dinner and today I won't even be able to upload a video. I have so much work." In the next scene we see Kesu reaching his apartment. By now he's very drunk. Mayoning is standing outside smoking and thinking, "Today I had so much work, and going to that old man was useless too." Suddenly he hears the sound of someone falling. Mayoning thinks, "Who's making this nonsense?" As soon as he turns, he sees Kesu there. He asks, "What are you doing here?" We see Kesu completely drunk. He immediately goes to Mayoning, takes out a drink, and starts drinking to sober up. Mayoning asks, "Why did you drink so much?" Kesu says, "My mind is completely messed up. Today was a really bad day anyway." Then he sees Mayoning smoking and asks, "So you always come here to smoke? Give me a cigarette too." Mayoning gets surprised but gives him one. Kesu starts smoking too and says, "Now I'm used to it at the company. It relieves my stress." Kesu tells Mayoning, "You don't think I do all this, right?" Mayoning watches as Kesu smokes heavily. Then Mayoning stretches his hand forward and says, "If you have so many problems, come hug me." Kesu gets really surprised but immediately runs and hugs Mayoning because his hugs feel really good. In the next scene we see both still hugging. After some time, Kesu faints there. Mayoning looks at him, then carries him in his arms, takes him inside, and puts him on the bed. Then we see Mayoning trying to wake him and saying, "You're completely soaked in alcohol. Get up and take a proper bath." Kesu, still drunk, says, "Leave me or I'll call the police." Pervert. From Kesu's taste. We see Mayoning getting very excited and thinking, "He always excites me like this. I should call the police." Then we see Mayoning suddenly removing Kesu's glasses and kissing him on the forehead, and the scene cuts here. In the next scene we see Mayoning going to meet Leopard because someone is trying to create fights between them, and he wants to figure it out. Leopard shows Mayoning a boy and says, "This is our boss's illegitimate son. No one cares about him. If we use him we can find out our boss's motives." Mayoning asks, "So what do you want from me?" The boy says, "I think you can trap him really well." Leopard says, "I heard he likes boys, so Mr. Mao, who better than you?" Mayoning has no interest at all. He immediately takes out his phone, calls someone, and tells Leopard, "Don't worry, I'll get this done." Mayoning sends the boy's photo to his friend Yang and says, "Trap him. Come here quickly." We see Yang arriving there immediately and thinking, "This Mayoning kid always calls me for such work. He never remembers me without a reason." As soon as Yang reaches, his eyes fall on his target, and that target is already hitting on one of Yang's men. Yang gets very jealous and thinks, "We promised each other we wouldn't do this, but now I know how trustworthy you are." He immediately goes to them, smiles, and says, "Can I join you too?" Then Yang thinks, "Let's see how my man handles this." In the next scene we see Kesu in his office going into the elevator. Suddenly Wong appears and starts talking to him, but Kesu wants to leave at any cost. Kesu tries to run away, but Wong immediately grabs his hand and says, "I know you're trying to ignore me. I feel like I upset you somehow. If I did, tell me. I'm ready to apologize right away." Then he asks, "Can we talk?" Kesu thinks for a moment and says, "Okay, we can talk." Wong immediately pulls him along. Now we see both eating snacks together, but Kesu isn't happy at all. Wong says, "I know you saw my message. You're upset because I peeked into your phone without permission, right?" But when he looks at Kesu, he sees Kesu isn't paying attention. Wong says, "Kesu, are you even listening?" Then Wong says, "I think you hate me." That's why you're not talking to me. He explains. What can I do? My personality is like this. When I like someone even a little and want to be friends, I start talking a lot, following them. I can't help it. I don't have many friends. That's why I want to make friends. Kesu says. I don't think so. With your personality, you should have lots of friends, not like me. Wong says. Office people aren't my friends. They're just colleagues and work friends. I don't have anyone I can talk to on a personal level. Then Wong says, but for me, you're way more than a colleague. I want to be your friend. Kesu gets really surprised. Then we see Wong immediately hitting his own head and saying, oh no, I said something wrong again, didn't I? I shouldn't have said that. Please forgive me. Just say hi to me, don't avoid me. Kesu calms down and understands that's just Wang's personality. After that we see both sitting together in the train going home. A little later when Kesu gets off the train, Wong gets off with him too. Kesu asks, your house isn't here, why are you getting off? Wong says, I want to drop you home. Kesu thinks, I don't need this at all. I knew if I made him a friend, this would happen. But why is he dropping me home? Still, he agrees and says, okay, fine. Then Wong starts his non-stop talking again. Kesu reaches his building and finds Mayoning at the gate. Mayoning sees both of them together and gets really surprised. We see Kesu looking at Mayo and Wong staring at Mayoning in a very strange way. And with this scene, this chapter ends. Today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts with us seeing Mayoning staring intensely at Kesu and Wong. Wong is thinking, Kesu's neighbor looks really dangerous. Suddenly Mayoning pulls Kesu close to him and says, you're late coming home again today. Wong gets very confused seeing both of them together. Then both look towards him. Kesu immediately introduces them. This is my colleague from the office. Wong talks to Mayoning and says, we were late coming back, so I thought I'd drop Kesu home. Now that we're here, I should leave. Saying this, Wong starts to go. Mayoning immediately thanks Wong for dropping Kesu home. Then both go inside. We see Wong looking very sad. He thinks so Kesu doesn't have a girlfriend, and in a very creepy way he says, so Kesu has a boyfriend, and the scene cuts there. The next scene shows Mayoning having dinner with his friend. Yang Mayoning is only thinking about Kesu. Then Yang gives him some evidence that Mayoning had asked for. While giving it, Yang says, this is the last time I'm working for you. Don't call me for this kind of work again. Mayoning immediately takes it and keeps it close. Yang gets confused and says, aren't you going to ask why I'm quitting this work? Mayoning replies, I have no right over you. It's completely your choice whether you want to work with me or not. Anyway, every time you help me, you get hurt. Hearing this, Yang also gets surprised. Then Mayoning tells him, my illness is completely cured now. I can get excited again like before. Hearing this, Yang gets extremely shocked and shouts, really? Show me quickly. Mayoning says, we're in public, stop the nonsense and keep your voice down. But Yang says, Kesu really did a miracle. When you first told me his presence cures your illness, I thought you had some real problem. I even filled out a form for the mental asylum for you. But this is truly amazing. I think I should go meet Kesu. Mayoning immediately says, that's fine, but stop shouting. Then we see Yang telling him, now that everything is fixed, you can go back home. No need to stay with Kesu anymore. Mayoning says, but I don't want that. I want to stay with him. Yang gets very confused. He immediately starts pulling Mayoning along and says, what's happening with you? Tell me properly. Mayoning says, I'm not going with you. I have a lot of important work, more important than going with you. Yang asks, what do you have to do? Mayoning says, I have to go bring Kesu home. Yang feels super cringy and thinks, my friend has gone completely crazy in love. Then he starts taking Mayoning along and says, okay, fine. Now tell me calmly what's going on between you two. From behind we see Yang's man watching both of them leave together and thinking, so Yang's type is a tall, broad guy. And the scene cuts there. The next scene shows nighttime. Kesu is working. Mayoning comes and says, are you still editing videos so late? You should go sleep now. Kesu says, just a little work left. I'll finish it. If I don't upload every day, all my fans will leave. Mayoning gives up and immediately gets on top of Kesu, sweetly saying, come on, let's go sleep. Kesu says, with you doing this, I can't concentrate. But both look super cute together, and Kesu likes Mayoning doing this. Suddenly Kesu's new laptop breaks. Kesu thinks, it was brand new, how did it break? Mayoning takes advantage, picks Kesu up, carries him, and says, do all this work tomorrow. Come sleep with me. He throws Kesu on the bed, covers him with the sheet, and says, now sleep quietly without making noise. Kesu says, but I had a little work left. Mayoning shushes him and tells him to sleep. Then he goes to his own bed to sleep. A little later we see Kesu still awake. He asks, "Are you still awake?" Mayoning doesn't reply. Kesu is looking at Mayoning and thinking, "Why do you treat me so well? You're my manager, you should disturb my sleep and force me to make videos all the time. But you stop me from making them yourself. What kind of manager are you?" Kesu says, "Since you came into my life, everything has completely changed. But if you keep doing this, I'll misunderstand. I'll start thinking something I shouldn't." Suddenly Mayoning asks, "What will you start thinking?" This reveals Mayoning wasn't sleeping either. Hearing this, Kesu immediately pretends to sleep. Mayoning gets up, goes to Kesu, puts his hand on his face, and says, "Silly, what other reason could there be for me taking such good care of you?" Then he pulls Kesu's cheeks, gets very close and says, "Until we have a proper relationship, forgive me, but I need this in advance." And he immediately kisses Kesu. The scene cuts here. The next scene starts with Yang's man, the one who saw Mayoning and Yang together. He's burning with jealousy, so he hacks Mayoning's phone. But as soon as he checks it, he gets shocked. Only 2 numbers, Yang's and Kesu's, he thinks. Why are there only 2 numbers in his phone? And who is this Kesu? He does a little research and finds Kesu's photo. He realizes he had researched Kesu before on Yang's orders. In the next scene we see Mayoning meeting his boss, the main mafia leader. The leader is sitting with his illegitimate son. He welcomes Mayoning. The boy is staring at Mayoning strangely. Mayoning immediately recognizes him. He's the same one. Yang was supposed to get evidence on Mayoning, places a gift for his boss on the table. The boss invites him for tea. Then the boss says, "I called you without any reason, you won't mind, right?" Mayoning says, "Why would I?" The boss introduces his illegitimate son. "This is my son Yunon. I wanted to introduce him to you." Then he starts telling Yunon's story. "I met his mom long ago. When I left her, I didn't know she was pregnant. My marriage was already done, but later I had to accept him after all. He's my blood." Mayoning thinks, "Old man, who are you fooling? I know you don't have your own son. That's why you had to raise him." Suddenly Yunon starts touching Mayoning under the table. Mayoning gets extremely shocked and immediately stands up. The boss asks, "What happened?" Mayoning says, "I have an urgent matter. I'll come meet you next time." The mafia boss tells his son to see Mayoning off at the door. On the way Yunan says, "Gaga, no need to leave so quickly." Then he whispers in Mayoning's ear, "That night in the bar, you were staring at me a lot. But why didn't you come to me?" Mayoning panics badly and thinks, "How does he know I was in that bar that night?" Yunan says, "Gaga, I waited for you a long time. But when you didn't come, I found another cutie and left." Then Yunan tries to get close to but Mayoning pushes him away firmly and leaves. Yunan just smiles, staring at Mao Ningdot. We see Mayoning in his car, irritated by Yunan's touch, thinking, "I should stay away from him. He makes me so angry." Then angrily he says, "That gay kid, who does he think he is? How dare he touch me?" His secretary thinks, "Boss, you're gay too. Don't you think you're in a big misunderstanding?" Mayoning thinks, "That old man definitely called me today to ask for money. Good thing I left on time." Then he tells his assistant, "Drop me at Kesu's house." It's raining heavily. As Mayoning is going to Kesu's house, he suddenly realizes someone is following him. We see it's Yang's man tailing him. Mayoning shows his skills and disappears in a flash. The boy gets very confused and thinks, "That guy just vanished into thin air. I need to find out his background so I can gather some evidence." He takes some photos with his camera and starts planning something. In the next scene we see Kesu having lunch in his office. He thinks, "Secretary Wong isn't here today. It feels so good." Suddenly Yang's man sits in front of him. Kesu thinks, "Who is this? Why doesn't he sit somewhere else?" Then Yang's man says, "I know you." Kesu looks at him very confused, and the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Mayoning going somewhere with his secretary. He's discussing some plans with his assistant. Then he says, "Today I'll go home myself." His assistant gives him the car keys and says, "Take care." We see Mayoning driving himself to Kesu's house. Meanwhile, we see Kesu. Yang's man has placed photos of Kesu in front of him. Kesu looks very confused. Yang's man tells him Mayoning is a big cheater. He traps innocent boys and makes them do adult movies. Hearing this, Kesu gets extremely shocked. The man says, "Everything I'm saying is true. If I was lying, how would I have your pictures?" Then he adds, "Mayoning is more dangerous than he looks. It's not necessary he'll only make adult movies with you. He could even sell your organs." Kesu angrily says, "Stop your nonsense. I know Mayoning very well. He's not that kind of person at all. I can't believe you're sitting here trying to provoke me against Mayoning. I think you're the more dangerous one. You know my name. You have my pictures. I think you're the stalker. Yang's man provokes him more. Haven't you ever wondered why a company like that signed you? You're not even a popular blogger. Still, they gave you 50,000. Haven't you realized yet that the company was just a scam? Kesu says only one thing. Whatever you're saying, I don't understand anything. I don't know anything about him. But why would Mayoning lie to me? Mayoning can never lie to me. Yang's man says, I wasn't going to tell you, but now I will. Mayoning is troubling someone else to someone I know. Then he says, don't fall into Mayoning's trap at all. In Keshu's mind, doubt starts rising. When I first met Mayoning, he gave me gangster vibes. I also thought he was a gangster. After planting doubt in Keshu's mind, the man leaves, staring at him. After that we see Kesu with doubt completely settled in his mind. He thinks, whatever that boy said feels very right. A company suddenly approaching me, signing me, giving me 50,000, and then meeting the same guy again who kissed me in the first meeting. Why didn't I ever think about this properly? But then he thinks Mayoning treats me so well. He answers all my questions, takes care of me. The whole day Kesu keeps thinking only about Mayoning, how Mayoning always helps him, always stands by him. Mayoning can never lie to him, and he can't be a scammer because no scammer helps someone this much just to scam them. Kesu comes home, feeds his cat, and keeps thinking, what if I find out Mayoning is just deceiving me? I'll completely break when Mayoning comes. Should I question him? Then Kesu thinks, I can ask manager Yang too. He's about to call when suddenly he hears Mayoning arriving. As soon as Kesu opens the door, he sees Mayoning badly injured. Kesu immediately catches him and asks, what happened to you? How did you get hurt so badly? And here this chapter ends. So guys, today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts with us seeing Kesu panicking badly when he sees Mayoning in that condition. But Mayoning only manages to say one thing, no matter what happens, don't take me to the hospital. And because of his severe injuries, he immediately faints. Poor Kesu is completely freaked out seeing Mayoning like this, and the scene cuts here. Now the story goes a few minutes back. We see Mayoning at his house searching for something. Suddenly he feels like someone is in his house. Then out of nowhere, a man appears and attacks Mayoning directly. Mayoning barely manages to save himself. The man attacks again and starts choking Mayoning badly. Clearly he came to kill him. Mayoning struggles to save himself. In the fight, a piece of glass gets into his hand. He attacks the man with it. Then Mayoning immediately calls his assistant and tells him, don't follow me, otherwise they'll find out about my place. Handle the situation here. I'll come meet you tomorrow myself. After that, Mayoning tries to escape in his car. He realizes someone is still tailing him. Mayoning speeds up and manages to lose them. He's badly injured, but Keshu's house comes into view. He wants to go to Kesu at any cost. Now the story comes back to the present. We see Kesu and Mayoning together. Mayoning is still unconscious, and Kesu is taking care of him. Kesu looks at Mayoning and thinks, good thing he's safe now. But how did he get hurt so badly? Is he really part of some mafia? Kesu starts talking to the unconscious Mayoning. Today some weird guy came to talk to me. He was trying to provoke me against you. But I'm sure whatever he said isn't true, because I remember how well you always treat me, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter to me as long as you're safe. So please, wake up soon. I want to talk to you. Tears come to Keshu's eyes as he says, I'm scared. Mayoning, please come back. Meanwhile we see Mayoning. He wasn't unconscious. He suddenly asks, do you like me? In the heat of emotions, Kesu says, yes, I like you. As soon as he realizes what he said, Kesu looks at Mayoning in shock. Mayoning asks, since when do you like me? Kesu has no idea how to react. He asks, when did you wake up? Then Kesu starts hitting Mayoning more playfully, saying, you cheater. You were awake all along and still made a fool of me. Poor, injured Mayoning gets even more injured and starts coughing up blood dramatically. He coughs badly. Seeing this, Kesu gets super worried and says, forgive me, I shouldn't have done that. But then we see Mayoning pulling Kesu on top of him. Kesu panics and says, what are you doing? You're so thin outside, you'll turn into a pop. Let me go. Mayoning doesn't listen and confesses his feelings. Kesu, I like you a lot too. Kesu turns into a red tomato, blushing badly, not knowing what to say. Then Mayoning removes Keshu's glasses and pulls him closer. But Kesu immediately stops him and says, before all this, tell me what's really going on. Mayoning doesn't listen and immediately kisses him. Kesu is completely shocked. He says, we can't do this. You're injured. But Mayoning is getting very excited, which worries Kesu. Mayoning says, today I'm injured. so I'm letting you go like this. But we'll sleep hugging each other. Then both hug lovingly and fall asleep. At the end, Mayoning tells Keshu, I know you have a lot of questions. You want to ask me many things. But trust me, I'll answer all your questions very soon. Just wait for me. Keshu has complete trust in Mayoning, so both fall asleep like this. Now the next scene shows nighttime. Keshu suddenly wakes up and finds himself alone at home. He gets very sad and says, Mayoning, you liar. You left me. You're so selfish. The next scene shows Yang trying to contact his man, but his man has blocked him from everywhere and isn't ready to listen. Yang thinks, I have very important work with him, but this time I won't trouble him. And the scene cuts. The story goes back several years. Now we learn about Yang's past. Yang is the heir of a very big company. His dad is extremely rich, but Yang is gay, so his father abandons him. He beats him a lot and says, I don't have a son like you. Yang's dad tells him, I sent you abroad to study, not to have fun with men. I always treated you well, never let you lack anything, and he give me this advice. Then we see Yang's brother glaring at him from the side. The dad says, if you can't be useful to us, at least stop embarrassing us. Yang wants to explain to his father, talk to him, but his brother stops him and doesn't let him. He keeps glaring. Yang immediately picks up his things and leaves. That's when he cut ties with his family. That soon as Yang comes out of the house and starts going somewhere. Suddenly some people come, kidnap him, and take him away. Yang tries hard to save himself, shouts a lot, but no one comes to help. They knock him unconscious and take him. The next scene shows a go down. Yang wakes up and thinks, I've been kidnapped. A rich family's son kidnapped. I know what comes next. They'll call my dad for ransom. Then he thinks, but I know my father well. He won't spend a single penny on me. He gets very sad. Suddenly Mayoning and another man, the ones who kidnapped him, arrive. They say, we're connecting you to your father. Don't talk nonsense. Yang talks to his father and is about to tell him he's been kidnapped, but his father says, how many times have I told you people I don't have a son like him? I won't give you even a broken coin for him. But thank you, you cleaned my trash. I don't need a useless son like him. Hearing his dad's words, Yang gets a huge shock. He realizes he has no one in this world. The gangsters can't believe it. How can a father say this about his own son? Mayoning's partner leaves Mayoning and says, Ning, finish him in my place. I'm too angry. This time we won't even get money. Mayoning does as told. In the next scene we see Mayoning pointing a gun at Yang's head. But Yang isn't scared at all. He's smiling. Mayoning gets surprised and asks, why are you smiling? Yang looks at him, very depressed, and says, if I spend one night with you, will you let me live? Then we see Mayoning's angry face, a loud sound, and the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Yang waking up. It was a dream. He thinks, why are those things coming back to me again? Then he gets an important call, and the scene cuts. Now the next scene shows Keshu in his office. He forgot to bring lunch today, but Mayoning had parceled a tiffin for him. Keshu gets really surprised and thinks, these are all the things I like a lot. Did Mayoning buy them for me? Then blushing he thinks, if you have so much courage inside, Mayoning, why didn't you come deliver it to me yourself? His colleagues start teasing him badly. Nowadays our Keshu is completely crazy in love. Look, he didn't even wear his tie today. Keshu panics and says, it's nothing like that. I'll wear it next time. Then all his colleagues tease him together. We met him too. One by one they tell how Keshu has completely changed lately. Then they all say together, we know Keshu is in a relationship now. Our little Keshu is no longer single. Keshu just blushes and listens, remembering Mayoning and thinking, why don't you come deliver it yourself? Then he says, friends, thank you so much for caring about me like this. Suddenly he gets called to the manager's room. Keshu thinks, again that guy is calling me to give me a lot of work. His friends encourage him. In the next scene we see Mayoning's base. His men are beating someone. Mayoning comes and says, tell me who sent you. He tells his men to leave. We see the boy. It's Yang's man who was keeping an eye on Mayoning. But Mayoning reached him first and captured him. Mayoning goes straight to him and says, tell me clearly, who told you to keep an eye on me? The boy bravely says, do whatever you want. I won't tell you. And if you do anything to me, I have evidence that will go straight to the police. Mayoning notices the boy's legs shaking badly. He thinks, either this guy is really brave or he's watched too many movies. Who talks such filmy dialogues? Then Mayoning asks straight, if you were watching me, tell me, what do you want from me? Why are you doing this? We can settle this. The boy says, how can I trust you? Mayoning says you don't have any other option. The boy gets a little scared and says, I know everything about you. You trap innocent boys and use them. Then angrily he shouts, you disgusting person. You put your dirty eyes on my dear innocent cute person, and you also put your eyes on innocent Kesk, but I've warned Kisk, now you can't do anything to him. Then he says angrily, besides, leave my dear Dong Yang alone. I'm here to save him. Mayoning angrily grabs his collar and thinks, so that's why Yang is quitting work. This guy is a complete idiot. Then he realizes the boy mentioned Kesu too. He thinks, what did this guy tell Kesu? The boy immediately closes his eyes, thinking Mayoning is going to beat him badly, but nothing happens. When the boy opens his eyes, Mayoning has vanished from his sight. The boy thinks, did he leave me here to starve? Then the next scene shows Yang coming there crying, my dear Min, what are you doing here? Yang gets very worried for Min. Min says, I'm not hurt much. Then we see both acting very lovey-dovey, which completely ruins Mayoning's mood. He says, you guys are so cringy, I'm getting full creepy vibes. Then Mayoning says, show this love at home. Both look at Mayoning cutely. Mayoning says, today I did you both a huge favor. Now you have to repay it. And here this chapter ends. So guys, today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts right where we left off. We've seen so far that Mayoning comes to Kesu in a badly injured state. Kesu takes great care of him. Both confess their feelings to each other, and Mayoning promises that when he returns, he'll tell Kesu everything about himself. Meanwhile, the misunderstanding between Yang's man Min and Mayoning has also been cleared up. With that, today's chapter begins. Mayoning tells them, you two can do your Romeo-Juliet drama at home. Right now, it's time to repay the favor I did for you. Yang immediately agrees to help Mayoning. At the same time, Mayoning also finds out who was keeping an eye on him. That person is now in Mayoning's secretary's custody. We see Min asking Yang, why do you always listen to Mayoning? Yang explains to Min, Mayoning may look dangerous on the outside, but he's actually a very good person inside. If he wanted to harm you, he could have beaten you badly long ago, but he didn't, so you should be grateful to him. Hearing this, Min immediately tells Mayoning, Mr. Mai, I'm ready to help you with everything. Yang quickly pulls Min along and says, you idiot, come with me. And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Kesu. His boss has once again brought him to a company dinner. After drinking way too much, Kesu is throwing up. He thinks, every time these people bring me here and force me to drink so much. Poor Kesu is completely fed up with his boss and thinks, I can't do this anymore. Suddenly he feels someone behind him. We see Secretary Wong has arrived. Wong says, do you need to wash your hands? Come, you can wash here. Kesu immediately tries to leave, but Wong quickly corners him. He asks, are you okay? You look really drunk. Then Wong suddenly grabs Kesu's hand very tightly and starts pressing it hard. Kesu says, Secretary Wong, let me go. It hurts a lot. He frees himself and steps back. Wong touches him again and says, we're friends, right? Then why are you still calling me Secretary Wong? Now Kesu gets angry too. He pushes Wang's hand away and says, Secretary Wong, I think you've had too much to drink. You should go home now. Wong says, you're absolutely right. So come on, let's go to your house. Then Wong looks at him creepily and says, what happened? Your boyfriend didn't come to pick you up today. Usually he waits for you at the station every day. Hearing this, Kesu gets really shocked and says, are you stalking me? Wong replies, did you and him fight? Did you break up? Then Wong says, why are you scared? No need to be afraid. Everything will be fine. I know all your likes and dislikes very well, so I won't do anything you don't like. But Kesu moves away and says, Wong, whatever you're saying, I don't understand any of it. It's better if you leave now. Kesu tries to leave immediately, but Wong corners him again, pulls him close, and says, I like you, so why can't I come to you? I deserve a chance too, right? What's wrong with that? I don't want to stay just as your friend. Wong starts getting even closer. Kesu shouts loudly, pushes Wong away hard, and runs straight out of there. He thinks, what is all this happening? I never thought Wong would do something like this. How did things between us get so bad? After that, Kesu immediately books a cab to go home. Then he realizes Wong knows his home address. If he goes home, Wong might come there. But Kesu has no other place to go. He gets very confused. The cab driver asks, where do you want to go? Kesu can't answer. Then the driver says, I understand. And we see it's none other than Min driving the cab. He starts driving immediately. Kesu thinks, I didn't even tell him where to go, and shouts, where are you taking me? Then we see Min has brought Kesu to Mayoning's base. Min tells Mayoning, I brought him. Mayoning panics, seeing Kesu in this state, and asks, what happened to him? Why is he like this? He immediately hugs Kesu. Min says, this was my first time driving a car. I had no idea. In the next scene, Kesu suddenly wakes up. He feels strange. He immediately pushes Mayoning away and says, "Stay away from me. Don't even try to touch me." Mayoning calmly tells him, "Open your eyes and see you're safe now. I'm here." As soon as Kesu sees Mayoning, tears fill his eyes. He immediately hugs Mayoning tightly. Mayoning says, "You're okay now. You're safe." Kesu starts crying and says, "It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything." Mayoning understands everything and asks, "Did he try to force himself on you?" Kesu nods yes. Mayoning hugs him even tighter and says, "You're completely safe. You're with me now." Then Mayoning asks, "Did he try to kiss you?" Kesu says yes. Mayoning kisses him right there and says, "Now you'll forget about him." Then both spend a lot of quality time together. Kesu's fear slowly starts going away. Mayoning asks, "Are you feeling better now?" Kesu says yes. Then Kesu asks Mayoning, "How did you know I was in trouble? And how did you send that guy to help me right away?" Mayoning kisses his hands, looks at him, and says, "If I tell you I'm part of the Mafia, will you still love me?" Hearing this question, Kesu gets extremely shocked, and the scene cuts here. The next scene starts with Yang wandering around. Suddenly someone comes to ask for his number. Min arrives and gets very jealous seeing it. He immediately comes forward and says, "Do you want to die?" Yang quickly gets into the car. Then Yang kisses Min and says, "Baby, you look even hotter when you're jealous." Min tells him, "Your old tricks won't work anymore. If you want to stay with me, you have to change yourself." Yang says, "I understand." The next scene starts again with Yang lost in old memories. He goes back to the time when Mayoning had pointed a gun at his head and Yang had said, "If I spend one night with you, will you let me live?" Now we finally see what happened after that. Hearing this, Mayoning got very angry and immediately fired the gun. In the next scene, we see Yang drowning in water. After some time, he comes out and is shocked to find himself alive. He thinks, "Even till today, I don't understand why Mayoning let me live that day." Then Yang tells us, "After that day, I became an orphan because my father had already cut ties with me. I had nothing left. I was from a rich family. I didn't know how to work. Life became very hard. I had to spend all my time on the streets. I had nothing to eat. For a moment, I thought of going to the police for help, but I couldn't, otherwise they would find out about me. I didn't want to put Mayoning in trouble." Then one day he met a guy. We see a boy coming to Yang and saying, "If you don't want to die of hunger, come with me." Yang, in deep trouble, follows him. After that, the boy takes Yang and turns him into a prostitute. That becomes Yang's life. He had to please others just to eat. After 2 years pass like this, suddenly one day there's chaos in the shop where he worked. Gunshots are heard. Yang is surprised. He thinks, "I've been here for 2 years. Mafia people come and go. The man who kept me here was Mafia too. No matter how hard I try, I can't escape alive. I'll have to rot here forever." So Yang had stopped caring about anything. But suddenly Mayoning appears in front of him. After 2 years, Yang sees Mayoning again. Yang tells us, "This was the second time Mayoning saved me." We see Mayoning coming to Yang and saying, "The man who did this to you, I ended his story. Now you're the owner of this shop." Yang was extremely shocked. This was the second time in his life Mayoning saved him. Now we see Yang telling this whole story to his man Min. Suddenly Yang realizes Min isn't saying anything. He immediately goes to him. We see Min after hearing Yang's story. Tears have filled his eyes. Yang immediately hugs him and says, "I didn't know you were so emotional." Min immediately pushes him away and says, "Who's crying? I'm not crying at all. It's just the smell of onions." Then Yang tries to lift his mood and says, "We haven't done romance in the car even once. Do you want to try that?" We see Min turning into a red tomato dot. Now the next scene starts again with May. He's asking Kesu, "If I tell you I'm part of the Mafia, will you still love me?" Kesu gets very shocked and starts getting up. Mayoning says, "I promised I'd tell you everything about myself. That time has come now." We see Mayoning starting to tell Kesu everything about himself. He says, "Do you remember when we first met? That day I went there for some work. I was supposed to meet someone else, but I met you by mistake and troubled you. After that, you taught me a good lesson. But after you left that day, I found the cookies you made. After eating them, my problem magically got fixed. From that day, I started searching for you everywhere. Then I made this plan and became your manager to come to your house." Kesu asks Mayoning, "So what was your problem that got fixed because of my cookies?" Mayoning hesitates a lot at first. Then he tells Kesu, "I had a medical issue. I could never get excited. That means no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't romance anyone. I tried a lot, took many medicines, but nothing helped. But one day I met you and found your cookies and I completely got cured." We see Kesu listening in shock. Then he suddenly starts laughing very loudly. While laughing, Kesu pushes Myoning away and says, "Are you joking? For one moment I might believe you're part of the Mafia, but I can't believe you had erectile dysfunction. That can't be possible because every time you see me you get so excited." Poor Myoning starts feeling extremely embarrassed. Now Kesu calms down and tells Myoning, "If you're really part of the Mafia, then why did you need to become my manager and do all this drama? You could have easily kidnapped me and forced me to do whatever." Suddenly we see Myoning switching to his full Mafia mode. He says, "Yes, you reminded me I'm Mafia." He immediately removes Kesu's hands and gets on top of him. Kesu gets very shocked. Then we see both spending very romantic time together. Myoning tells Kesu, "Go ahead and scream as much as you want. No one will help you now." But suddenly Kesu becomes sad and looks the other way. Myoning hugs him from behind and says, "Look at me and tell me what happened. Why did you stop here? Tell me." Myoning is so excited that he can't stop. He immediately says, "Even now, if you don't trust me, I can do a lot more." Kesu panics and says, No, that's enough for today. I accept your Mafia." A very hot Mafia. Hearing this, Myoning gets shocked for the first time. We see Myoning blushing badly. Then he hugs Kesu and says, "If you say it like this, I'll feel like locking you up and hiding you somewhere so no one can find you." And here today's chapter ends. So guys, today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies manhwa starts with us seeing Myoning and Kesu in his car. Myoning is waking Kesu up because they've reached home. As soon as Kesu wakes up, his first question is, "How did clothes get on me?" Myoning teases, "Why didn't you like them? Should I take them off?" Then Myoning says, "If you're regretting last night, we can still go to a hotel right now. Or if you want, we can do it in the car too." Kesu immediately says, "No way in the car, I don't like doing it in the car at all." Meanwhile, we see Myoning's assistant thinking, "These shameless people have no shame at all. I'm sitting right here in front of them." Myoning tells Kesu, "I was just joking. Look at what's running through your mind." Kesu gets annoyed and says, "How dare you joke with me like that?" He immediately starts punching Myoning playfully and says, "You're laughing at me." Poor Kesu gets super embarrassed, and the scene between them turns into a very cute moment. Then Myoning stops him, places a phone in his hands and says, "Now I've told you everything about myself and my feelings. I just need your answer. Until then, keep this phone with you. Whenever you feel scared or miss me, you can call me comfortably on this." Kesu is left really surprised. Myoning gets close and says, "If after knowing my truth you don't like me, you can tell me. I'm giving you a chance right now. You can leave from here. But once all our problems are solved, no matter what happens, I won't let you go. I'll lock you up and hide you from the world." Then he lovingly kisses Kesu on the forehead. We see Kesu staring at the phone. Suddenly Myoning takes advantage of the moment and directly kisses him. Then he says, "I'm giving you a mark. Go, show this mark to everyone and tell them you belong to someone now." In the next scene, we see Kesu arriving at his office. Everyone notices the love bite and starts talking about it. "Your girlfriend is really something." Poor Kesu thinks, "How do I tell them I ended up with a Mafia guy?" Then a colleague says, "Congratulations, you're succeeding in your career and you've got a girlfriend too." Another says, "Go to the manager, he's calling you." Kesu goes to the manager's room. The manager tells him Wong suddenly quit, so his job is now yours, meaning we're giving you a promotion. Kesu is shocked. Then the manager dumps even more work on him and sends him away. In the next scene, we see Kesu buried in work thinking, "They gave me a promotion just to make me do donkey labor." He's only thinking about finishing the work quickly so he can go to May. Just thinking about Myoning makes him blush a lot. He thinks, "What must Myoning be doing right now?" And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Myoning meeting his boss again. The boss and Yunnan are sitting together. The boss is talking to Myoning very nicely, and Myoning is listening carefully. Meanwhile, we see Yunnan looking very angry. The boss tells Yunnan, "You should serve Myoning a drink." Yunnan gets furious and says, "He just does a little work for us. Why should I do all this for him?" His dad, Myoning's boss, gets angry and says, "Watch your tongue." Myoning says, "I didn't mind his words at all. After all, he's your son." Seeing Myoning and his dad so close makes Yunnan even more upset. He looks really angry, and here the competition between Myoning and Yunnan officially starts. In the end, Yunnan loses. The boss finds it all very entertaining and laughs hard. Suddenly, Myoning gets a call from his assistant. He tells his boss, "Something urgent came up. I have to leave." The boss says, "You're at the age for marriage now. Pay attention to that too. Is there a girl in your life? If there is, you must introduce her to me." Mayoning gets shocked and says, "No, nothing like that," and leaves immediately. But Yuna notices Mayoning is hiding something. An evil smile appears on his face as he thinks, "Mayoning Gaga, I found your weakness." In the next scene, we see Mayoning with his assistant. The assistant tells him, "Some of our secret information has been leaked." Mayoning asks him to find out more about it. Then we see Mayoning sitting calmly, taking out an envelope and looking at Keshu's photos. In the next scene, Mayoning can't resist looking at Keshu's photos and starts using them to relax himself. Hand practice. Suddenly his phone rings. It's Kesu calling. Poor Mayoning panics and quickly picks up. We hear Kesu on the call, but Mayoning is breathing heavily from what he was doing. Kesu asks, "Why aren't you saying anything?" Mayoning, still continuing, asks, "Why did you call?" Kesu says, "You told me to call whenever I miss you." Then Kesu suddenly realizes what Mayoning is doing and gets shocked. Mayoning asks, "Do you remember what we did?" Keshu's heart starts pounding hard. Mayoning keeps going and says, "You're perfect now, quickly take off your clothes." Even though they're on a call, the scene is shown as if Mayoning is with Kesu. Mayoning asks, "Should I teach you something?" Kesu gets angry and says, "I'm a man too, I can do this." After he finishes, we see Kesu immediately hiding under the sheet. Mayoning cleans his hand. Kesu is blushing badly. Mayoning asks, "Are you still listening?" Kesu says, "Yes, but I'm feeling really shy." Mayoning says, "I know you well, you must have covered yourself with the sheet." Then Mayoning asks, "Did you come home late from work again today?" Kesu says, "Yes, Secretary Wong, who was troubling me a lot, suddenly quit. Now I got his job instead. But under the name of promotion, they're making me do even more labor. That jerk left and dumped all his work on me. I haven't uploaded a video in 2 weeks. I feel like all my subscribers will leave me." Then Kesu realizes he's been talking non-stop. He asks Mayoning, "I talk so much nonsense, don't you get bored?" Mayoning says, "Talk as much as you want. I never feel bored when you're around." Kesu says, "You're really good at sweet talking." Then he gets serious and says, "Lately I only think about you. I want to know what you do every day, every moment. Do you fight with other mafia people like in the movies? No matter how hard I try, I can't understand." Mayoning, "When will your work end and when will you come back to me?" Mayoning says, "Do you really miss me that much?" Kesu says, "Yes, a lot." Mayoning says, "Then okay, don't hang up. Just fall asleep like this." After some time, we see Kesu has fallen asleep. Suddenly he hears Mayoning's voice on the phone. "Come down quickly." Kesu gets shocked, runs downstairs, and sees He gets super surprised and immediately hugs him. Mayoning asks, "Today you're hugging me from the front." Kesu says, "I wanted to show courage at least once in my life." Then Kesu kisses him from the front. Meanwhile, hidden somewhere, Yunnan is watching them and says, "What fools," and the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Kesu going to his office. This time Yunnan is following him. Yunnan thinks, "Is this boy really Mayoning's lover? I don't understand Mayoning's type at all. How can someone so simple be Mayoning's lover?" Suddenly Yunnan's eyes fall on a boy secretly taking Keshu's photos. An evil smile appears on his face as he says, "Oh, so that's the case." Yunnan immediately catches the boy and says, "You creepy guy, why are you taking his pictures?" We see it's none other than Min, who is taking photos of Kesu for Mayoning. Yunnan and Min already know each other because they've spent nights together before. Why Yunnan pulls Min along and says, "Now I'm taking you to the police." He immediately covers Min's mouth so he can't explain. In the next scene we see both in the car. This time Yunnan properly introduces himself and asks about Min. Min angrily says, "I don't want to hear your nonsense. Tell me quickly why you brought me here." Yunnan says, "That night when we met at the bar, was all that done by Min?" Min angrily says, "No, not at all." Then Yunnan says, "So you know Mayo? Did he ask you to keep an eye on his lover?" Min doesn't want to hear more nonsense, so he starts leaving and says, "If you want to report me to the police, go ahead. I'm leaving." But Yunnan clings to him and says, "After we separated that night, every time I met Dong Yang, I only missed you. I told Yang so many times to call you again. But whenever we were together, he never called you. He wanted to enjoy me alone." Then he whispers in Min's ear, "Didn't Yang tell you how many times we met?" Min gets extremely shocked and thinks Yang promised he wouldn't meet anyone except me. Did Yang break his promise? Min angrily leaves. Yunnan thinks, "I just started talking, why did he get so angry and leave?" And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Mayoning and Yang together. Yang says, "I'm so busy, and you just show up. What did you come here for?" Mayoning says, "Nothing special today. I thought I'd chat with my friend. Anyway, I wanted to tell you something." Blushing, Mayoning says, I think I'm completely cured now because of Kesu. Even that day on the call we did all that. Now I don't need his food or his touch. Just thinking about him is enough. Yang immediately grabs his throat and says, so you shameless Mayoning came here to show off your relationship, to tell me how happy you are with him. But then Min, who's there, tells Yang, what are you doing here? Weren't you supposed to keep an eye on Kesu? Min says, I'm not your lapdog like Mayoning. I won't follow all his orders. Mayoning gets angry and immediately gets up to leave. While going, he tells Yang, we'll talk later. I don't think this is the right time. Yang asks Min, what happened? Min says, you really don't know what happened. Today I met Yunnan and guess what he told me? And here this chapter ends. Why Yunan has lit the spark. What kind of fire it will start? We'll find out in the coming chapters. Guys, today I'm going to explain the final chapter of this manhwa. But before we dive in, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you. You gave this manhwa so much love. I'll keep bringing more like this. So please keep showering your love. With that, let's start today's video. The chapter begins with us seeing Min and Yang together. Min tells Yang, I met Yunnan, he told me everything about you. Yang gets extremely panicked and says, whatever he told you is not true at all. Don't listen to him. But Min doesn't listen to a single word. He says, there are so many people in this world who like you, and I know that in this world, you'll never choose anyone over Mayoning, not even me. Yang goes completely silent and can't give any answer. We see Min immediately leaving from there. He doesn't even give Yang a chance to explain his side. The scene cuts. The next scene starts at Keshu's office. One of his colleagues tells him, someone came looking for you. Keshu thinks it must be Mayoning, so he immediately rushes downstairs. He was eagerly waiting to see Mayoning, but when he reaches, he's extremely shocked. It's not Mayoning, it's Yunnan standing there. Keshu doesn't know Yunnan, so he asks, who are you? Why were you looking for me? Yunnan immediately returns Keshu's ID badge and says, you forgot this. As Keshu reaches to take it, Yunnan pulls him close, quickly puts a cloth over his face, and makes him unconscious. In the next scene, we see Mayoning in a very worried state, going somewhere. Keshu's calls aren't connecting at all, and Mayoning is extremely anxious. Suddenly, some photos arrive on his phone. They're of Keshu, taken in a very creepy way, the ones Yunnan clicked after kidnapping him. Yunnan's only motive was to provoke Mao Ning. Mao Ning gets extremely worried and thinks, the evidence Yang gave me, I can only use it once. Now Yunnan knows my weakness and is using it against me. I have to teach this Yunnan a lesson. He immediately tells his assistant, bring everyone who can fight. Yunnan has kidnapped Keshu. Then his assistant tells Mayoning, I also have some news for you. The guy I captured has confessed everything. I found out that all the trouble in our company was caused by Leopard, not Yunnan. Yunnan was just a pawn. The real mastermind is Leopard, using Yunnan as a front to destroy you. Mayoning understands everything. Leopard suddenly coming to his company that day, calling him, sending him to Yunnan. It was all Leopard's trap to frame Mayoning thinks Yunnan was just Leopard's pawn, but he's not completely useless. I can use him too. In the next scene, we see Yunnan talking to Mayoning on the phone. Keshu is lying there unconscious. Yunnan tells Mayoning, so Gaga, tell me, what are you willing to give in exchange for Keshu? Do you have anything you can offer me? Mayoning says, I sent you a video. Watch it first, then give me your answer. As soon as Yunnan watches the video, he panics badly. It's a video of him romancing with Yang Min. Mayoning tells him, if you don't release Keshu, I'll make this video public. The whole world will know and you'll be ruined. Yunnan says, Gaga, don't you think you've gone too far? Shouldn't you be scared that I might do something bad to Keshu? Mayoning replies, if you have the courage, go ahead and try. Then I'll give you a very painful death. Yunnan becomes very sad. Then suddenly he gets furious and says, Mayoning, Gaga, why do you always act so cool? He looks at Keshu and thinks, if I can't do anything bad to Keshu, that doesn't mean I can't scare him. He immediately picks Keshu up and gets on top of him. As soon as Keshu wakes up, he panics, seeing him tries to punch him, but Yunnan catches his fist, gets on top, and says, do you know Mayoning sold you to me? Now I can do whatever I want with you. Keshu says, stop your nonsense. You're lying. Mayoning would never do that. Yunnan gets even closer to scare Keshu. Poor Keshu is about to cry when suddenly Mayoning arrives. He has already beaten all of Yunnan's men badly. Seeing Mayoning, Yunnan panics a lot and says, Gaga, I can explain. I wasn't going to do what you're thinking. But Mayoning immediately pulls him away from Keshu. Mayoning's assistant takes Yunnan away. Mayoning immediately takes care of Keshu and asks, are you hurt? Did he hurt you? Keshu, blushing a lot, says, everything is fine. Mayoning says, okay then, come with me now, you're safe. While leaving, Mayoning tells his assistant, you can handle the rest. Kesu looks back, but Mayoning stops him and takes him away. Then we see both in a car. Kesu is looking at Maoning's injuries. Mayoning tells him, if you decide to stay with me, you'll have to face even more dangerous situations in the future. Your life could be in danger many times. So tell me honestly now, are you scared? Kesu says, yes, I'm a little scared. Mayoning asks, then do you want to break up with me? Kesu shouts, stop your nonsense. I want you to teach me self-defense so I can protect myself. Teach me how to face bigger people. Even today that man completely overpowered me. I couldn't do anything, so teach me how to fight. Mayoning immediately gets on top of him and says, why do you want to learn to fight? Kesu hugs him and says, because I want to protect you. You always come at the right time to save me. That's why I want to save you too. Mayoning says, okay, I'll teach you. In the next scene we see Yang very worried because Min isn't picking up his calls and is completely ignoring him. Then Yang remembers Min lives in a dormitory and he knows the address. So he immediately heads there. In the next scene, Min gets a call from his warden saying, a boy with pink hair came looking for you. Min gets shocked and thinks, what did he come here for now? He goes to Yang and apologizes to his friends for causing trouble. He wakes Yang up and says, have you been drinking again? Then he smells something from Yang's body and says, did you go out again? Did you do that again? He gets very angry. Then suddenly calms down and says, I expected this from you. A person like you can't stop these things. But what did you come here for now? We ended everything. Yang is still sleeping peacefully. Min says, stop acting. I know you're awake. If you don't get up soon, I'll call the guards and throw you out. Min is about to leave, but Yang grabs his hand and looks at him very sadly. Min looks back. Yang says, please don't push me away. I know I'm not worthy of you. I've done many bad and disgusting things, but I love you and I'm ready to do anything to stay with you. Just tell me what I need to do, and if you're worried about Mayoning, I've already quit that work. You can ask anyone. You can ask Mayoning. I don't work for him anymore. Min lets go of his hand and starts leaving, saying it doesn't matter to me anymore. Yang gets very sad. Then he immediately hugs Min and says, please give me one more chance. Min immediately slaps him hard on the face, then takes him to his room. As soon as they enter, Yang throws Min onto the bed. Min says, what are you doing? Yang, crying badly, says, I love you. Don't push me away. Min hugs him back and says, I'm ready to accept you. So finally everything gets sorted between them two. In the next scene we see Mayoning going to meet Leopard with a lot of his men to take revenge. We see Leopard with Yunnan, both are working together. Leopard asks Mayoning, what did you come here for now? Mayoning says, what belongs to me? We worked together for so many years. I never thought you would betray me and try to snatch my things behind my back. Leopard says, why don't we make a deal? Now that you know everything, let's split all profits 50-50. After that you go your way, I go mine. Mayoning angrily says, keep dreaming. Leopard laughs loudly and says, do you even know your situation? With one signal from him, we see all the men turn against Mayoning, but Mayoning says, you don't know the situation. Suddenly we see Yunnan pointing a gun at Leopard's head. Yunnan has switched to Mayoning's side. Leopard panics badly, then we get a flashback scene. Mayoning's assistant had offered Yunnan a deal. Mayoning will forgive you if you work for him. Yunnan immediately agreed. The assistant thought, is this idiot serious? Maybe he is a dog. Back to the present. Leopard tells Yunnan, you bastard, I did so much for you. Your father didn't even care about you. He sent you abroad. I brought you back. The place you have today, I gave it to you. Suddenly everyone attacks them and a fight starts. Leopard escapes, but reaches a cliff with no way out. Mayoning points a gun at his head. Leopard again offers a deal, let me go and I'll give you all the profits. But in that very moment, Mayoning ends Leopard's story. He brings Leopard's body in front of everyone and says, now he's dead. From today, I'm your only boss. And today I declare I'm stepping down from my position. From now on, I'm no longer part of the Mafia. I'm giving my position to you. And his assistant is shocked and says, boss, you can't do this. Are you really doing this? Mayoning says, I know you'll handle everything well. And with that, Mayoning finally quits the Mafia life. In the next scene we see Kesu returning home. He sees Mayoning coming from the front and immediately hugs him. Mayoning welcomes him. Both are super happy together. Then Mayoning says, I want to tell you something. Kesu also says, I want to tell you something too. Then both say at the same time, now I'm unemployed. The story goes back to the past to show how Kesu became unemployed. We see Kesu in his office. Some officers come and call him. When Kesu goes to them, he finds out his boss had done some fraud and ran away, because he always took Kesu along for drinks. Kesu is now implicated too. Kesu's boss says, I'm not firing you, but I'm suspending you. When the matter calms down, I'll call you back. But Kesu knows office politics well. Once a scam happens, many people get fired. That means they're never calling him back. Kesu tells Mayoning about this and says, I don't think my office people will ever call me back. Mayoning goes to him and says, why are you worried? I'm with you. Then he kisses Kesu and says, I missed you so much. Both start getting very romantic. But then Kesu asks me, you still haven't told me how you became unemployed. Mayoning says, I retired. I quit my job. Kesu gets extremely shocked and looks at him strangely. Mayoning thinks, why does everyone look at me like this when I say this? It's not like I can't quit being Mafia. I left all my work to my assistant. He's like a brother to me. He'll handle everything well. Mayoning sees Kesu is worried. He asks, why are you worried? Kesu says, now both of us are jobless. I won't be able to support you. You quit your job too. I have no work. How will I make tasty food for you? Mayoning says, you're worrying about such a small thing. I have a surprise for you. I bought a cafe for you. Now you can sell all your tasty recipes there. Kesu is shocked and says, what have you done? Mayoning says, why don't you like it? Kesu says, it's all happening so suddenly. I got a little scared. Then he smells him, kisses his cheeks and says, thank you so much. Mayoning says, just thank you, nothing else. And they immediately start getting romantic again. Finally, after 50 episodes, romance happens between them. Then we directly see the next morning scene. Mayoning looks at Kesu and says, good morning, my dear boyfriend. Kesu blushes and turns the other way, saying, you started again. Mayoning hugs him from behind and says, for you, I can always be ready. And here this amazing manhwa reaches its happy ending. I hope you loved this amazing manhwa, and you'll give the same love to my upcoming manhwas too. And yes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you with a new manhwa. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.